fall. At Eiler Martin Stadium, we're at East Stroudsburg University for our Division II National Showcase with big implications in the PSAC East Division. The Golden Bears of Kutztown and the Warriors of East Stroudsburg, who come in one of 4 teams just a game behind Kutztown in the East standings. And in the PSAC, you've got the East and the West, and then a championship game at the end of the year. We welcome you in. Thanks for tuning in to our Division II National Showcase. Darren Goldwater and Nate Ross. Already sitting at 3-0 with 3 consecutive wins now, Kutztown has a chance to really separate itself from the pack and put themselves on the inner track to the championship game.
Well, if they win this one, they don't have any losses. You saw how bunched up all the standings were. As a coach, you want a game that means something in the second half of the season. If East Stroudsburg can win tonight, they will have a lot of meaningful games down the stretch.
And there have been a lot of meaningful games already for Kutztown. They started out the year 0-3, and then what happens? What do you know? It's a redshirt freshman that takes over the reins at quarterback, and ever since Colin DeGalbo has been the signal caller, this team's undefeated.
Well, DeGalbo has come in and been exceptionally hot. The numbers are right there. But in the 3 games he has started, most importantly, they've won all 3. 67% percentage completions. He is hot. He's on a roll. He's thrown for about 250 yards in each of those 3 games, but they've won them all. That's the most important part.
The quarterbacks always get all the love, don't they? But the reality in this game also includes the fact that these are 2 of the 3 best rushing teams in the PSAC, and Robert Healy is one of the top running backs in all of Division II.
Well, Robert Healy is the best of the best in the country. As far as statistics go, he is #1 in total touchdowns in Division II NCAA. He is #1 in total yards from scrimmage. He gets the ball up. When he does, he's very productive with the football.
And the good thing for Jim Clements is that his rushing defense is one of the top rushing defenses at the Division II level. Just about 102 yards a game and less than 3 yards a carry for the third-year head coach in terms of his rushing defense. And that's one of his primary keys to the game. He has to make sure that East Stroudsburg isn't picking up 4 and 5 yards, particularly on the ground, on first down.
Yeah, when we talked to him this week, he knew, obviously, about Robert Healy and how productive he is and has been. And you're right, his priority was first down defense and running defense because Healy is such a primary ball handler and ball carrier for East Stroudsburg.
So a third-year head coach on one sideline and one of the longest tenured coaches in NCAA history on the other side, regardless of level, D1, D2, D3. Denny Dowds has been here as the head coach for 43 years. He has been at this school for 51 years. Quite an unprecedented run for Dowds and a run of success that also includes one James Franklin, the head coach at Penn State, who was a quarterback for Dowds and was honored yesterday and this morning, part of the homecoming festivities and getting honored with the inclusion and induction into the Hall of Fame. Dowd said he's probably still to this day the best rushing quarterback and the best dual threat quarterback this league has ever seen.
Yeah, and it amazes me. We had the opportunity to do an East Stroudsburg game last year. The enthusiasm this man brings, not day after day, but decades after decades. Got a chance to talk to him after the little walkthrough yesterday. And he just told the kids, you got to be excited about this. This is what you worked for all in the springtime. This is what you worked for in the weight room. And to be here that long with that kind of enthusiasm, he's one of a kind.
The stakes are high, especially when you consider we're just now kind of rounding the halfway pole. Kutztown has already cleared 2 major hurdles in the PSAC East. If they win this game, it's looking very good for Kutztown in terms of getting to that PSAC championship. While East Stroudsburg is still a game back. If they can knock off Kutztown here, they too feel as though they then have the inner track to that championship game. So there's plenty at stake here. You're starting to get the feel as we work our way into mid-October that, all right, you are playing for something now. You're still alive for the championship. But what Denny Dowds knows and what folks around East Stroudsburg know, their quarterback Campbell and the Warriors, when they have faced the best in their league this year, it hasn't fared that well. Today's a chance for them to really right that side of things, to prove to the rest of the league, to prove to themselves that on the field against the best competition that the league has to offer, that they can stack up with.
A lot of things going on this weekend here with homecoming, but they know, and that man knows how important this game is. He told us he likes the pressure of that kind of stuff. I mean, that's why you play football. So they're getting the opportunity to knock off the team that's undefeated. And granted, the season's got a long way to go, but knock off the team that's undefeated in the East, when the East get in the championship game, and that's what it's all about.
That's Brandon Keffer. Keffer isn't one who's going to kick it very deep. He was a very late addition to this team off the soccer squad at Kutztown. And it is Keffer who is going to get our Division II National Showcase underway with a sidewinder over towards Marcus Fells inside of his own 10. Fells will be tripped up shy of the 20. So Kutztown, which has now 6 games under its belt working with Keffer and his kickoffs, have him down there inside the 20.
Fells tried to get outside to get that wall set up, but let's give Kutztown credit. They got through that initial line and made a nice play and put them in a little bit of a hole. It's early, but they're inside their own 20.
So often you see guys having to step in for a great one. That's exactly what Bruce Campbell had to do this year, replacing Matt Soltis, one of the best quarterbacks the Warriors ever had. And a couple times he was a Harlan Hill candidate. But Campbell has taken over, and it has been relatively seamless, largely because of Robert Healy behind him. Carrying the ball, receiving the ball. Healy's probably going to touch it about 30 times today.
Yeah, that's what he does, and that's what he does very well, as evidenced by the stats we showed you. Yeah, Stoltis was number 4 in the Harlan Hill voting as a senior, so you're replacing a really good one. But this young man has paid his dues. Redshirt senior has been behind all those guys, and now it's his game.
He's completing about 50% of his throws. He's got a couple of deep threats, but everything is really set up with what Healy can do. Pretty elusive, never really takes a big shot, although he's swarmed here. He's the primary target, and it is Jake Perry, one of the safeties and one of the 3 primary defenders for the Bears, who's up to make the hit.
Well, you know, all week they have worked on what happens when 29 gets the ball in the scout team. Whoever was 29 for the Kutztown scout team got beat up all week because he is the man to make this offense go.
So it's already a win here on this opening possession for Kutztown. The goal was keep them below 4 and 5 yards on first down. And because of that, back them up on second down, and it's 3rd and 10. First time to the air for Campbell, and it's nearly intercepted. Only Perry was back there.
I don't know if he was throwing at the Tommy House or he was trying to hit Healy over the middle, but he overthrew one and almost threw it right to a guy in a white shirt on the other side.
So here's Sam O'Brien. O'Brien top 20 at the Division II level, over 42 yards a kick. And it's Craig Reynolds awaiting the punt.
There's really no breeze to affect any kicking tonight. It's dead calm and everybody jumped. Good. Bob Cannon, pick one. It doesn't really matter.
What a rough start here for East Stroudsburg, huh?
Yeah, not what you want. Oh, it's the reason they jumped. Somebody jumped in the neutral zone. Still, it was 4th and 3rd and 10, 4th and 10, so they still got to kick it. But you're right, not a good start for the home team. 2 runs, incomplete pass, now we got to kick.
Temple transfers, handles the in-between hop and sends one high in the air here for Reynolds. Will make the fair catch at the 42 for the first possession for the Golden Bears and their freshman quarterback Colin DeGalbo. We'll get a look at the undefeated redshirt freshman and the offense of the Golden Bears, one of the most balanced attacks in the PSAC, when we bring you back here to the Poconos.
I thought he'd never leave.
Why are you texting my man at 2 a.m.?
If you want someone to leave you alone, you pretend like you're sleeping. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Taking selfies in the kitchen does not make you a model. Okay.
I'm a 3-time legacy. Everyone in my family loves KU. But going into this, I wasn't sure if I just wanted to follow in their footsteps. But then I took the tour, and oh my gosh, the campus was awesome. Everyone was so much more helpful and friendly than the other places I had visited. The facilities were great. I knew instantly it was my choice, my first choice.
Choose Kutztown University.
5 or younger. Call 800-859-7357.
To learn more about our senior plans from Angel Care Insurance Services, the average funeral now costs over $7,000, but the most government benefits will pay your family is only $255, leaving your loved ones to pay your debt. Our senior plans will pay up to $30,000 for funeral and other final expenses. There is no medical exam, and you will have lifetime coverage. Your rates will never increase, your benefits will never decrease, and your plan cannot be canceled. To receive free information about our senior plans and their benefits, call the number on your screen now. Also, receive information about a free prescription discount card by calling now. There is no obligation. Operators are standing by.
Call 800-859-7357.
What a gorgeous night here in eastern Pennsylvania in the PSAC matchup. Alongside the birthday guy here, Nate Ross. Darren Goldwater with you as you get a look at a rising star in the PSAC here, DeGalbo. DeGalbo wasn't even the first choice to replace the injured starter Terrence Scanlon, who went down in Game 2. But Game 3 wasn't going very well with Brennan Scott. He comes in relief, and ever since Game 4 has been the starter, and this team is undefeated, and he shows you his arm right off the bat. Hubley, the sophomore out of Oxford, Pennsylvania, brings it in inside the 30.
Well, you and I talked watching this week. Number 10, Andre Gray, got burned deep on a couple games, a couple passes against Millersville. They went after the redshirt, or the freshman, first play, and they burned him.
Going pretty quickly here. Got it to their leading receiver, Troy Parton, leading receiver in terms of number of receptions. For the Golden Bears, they always have someone who really racks up the receptions because of the extension of the running game, these quick hitters on the outside. And this year it is number 86, Troy Parton.
Yeah, they're almost, it's a safe pass. It's a quick release, as we just saw that time, and it's very effective.
They'll use a stable of backs. One of them is Craig Reynolds, and he's wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Reynolds, just a redshirt sophomore, but one of the leading running backs in the PSAC, over 100 yards a game. Brings up third down.
Third and very manageable, and they're probably, if they don't make this, they're going for it because their field goal kicker is not real. The coach isn't confident in him, and they're pretty far out as well.
Yeah, the kicking situation is a strange one for the Golden Bears. They haven't attempted a field goal this year. There's Reynolds, and he runs right into Ahmad McFarland, a fifth-year senior out of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. He's going to be about 1.5 yards short of the first down.
26 straight starts for McFarland. Been there, done that for number 94. And he stood him straight up. They gained nothing, and as we thought, they're going for it on fourth.
They go for it on fourth down as much as option teams go for it. Almost 20 times this year, and Reynolds will fall forward far enough to pick up that first down underneath the veteran in the secondary, Jimmy Versicco.
'67, Jordan Morgan is the All-American. That's right who they run behind. Got the first down. A lot of NFL people like this young man, 6'4", 320 redshirt senior.
Yeah, keep an eye on him, the left tackle. He's a space mover out there. That's a dangerous pass out there, Parton. And Parton is dropped as he makes the pass, or catch. Maurice Jackson right out there.
Jackson could have jumped that route. He caught the ball carrier and the ball at the same time. Talk about anticipation. He jumped in there for Andre Gray on that side. And watch this. He catches the ball carrier, and the blocker all in one. Really good play.
He just missed the block out there. It's a good start so far for the redshirt freshman. That one is a little bit too far. He wanted Parton once again.
Yeah, and it's almost the same play to the wide side of the field. One wide out tries to block, and they throw it to the other one. As you correctly described it, Parton needed to be about 6 inches taller to catch that one. It's interesting. They go real quick, and then they slow down.
Somewhat of a 3-4 look from East Stroudsburg. They'll vary up their pressures. And they're also without their leading tackler, Sekou Jones, today. Good pocket there for DeGalbo, but he misses Kellen Williams, one of the best receivers to ever wear a Kutztown uniform. And the first time he was targeted today. And
that was good blitz pickup, because they sent 5 down 3 and 2 linebackers. And Colin DeGalbo had time to throw it. Just didn't throw it accurately enough.
Interesting, DeGalbo goes for it all down there when it was clearly 4 down territory anyway. Instead of getting 6, 7 of these, leaves himself a 4th and 13. 4 receivers here for DeGalbo into traffic. The Warriors turn him over on downs.
He had Connor Sullivan in a white jersey, but there was a whole lot of red jerseys around him and a very tight window to throw it into. You'll see 11 come into your picture from the right side. And there's one white shirt, and there's about 4 red ones. Hit him in the hands, but that would have been a difficult catch.
So 3 and out for East Stroudsburg, and then DeGalbo leads his team on what looks to be a pretty promising drive. Then it stalls out inside of the 30. So here's an offense now averaging 39 points a game, more than 430 yards a game. That didn't get on track the first time they had it. They will here. Their fullback Sean Roth, one of the most valuable players on this team and one of the best surprises for Dowds entering the year on the receiving end of a 22-yard play.
Little seam route for Roth. He'll split the linebackers. There's nobody near him when he catches it. He's normally the lead blocker in the ISO plays, but a very capable receiver, as we see right there. They don't go to him a lot, but when they do, he comes through.
They're going to go pretty quickly here, and it's Healy on the late pitch, and that is played perfectly well by Jake Perry once again. Perry and Kenny Williams. For this defense, and when you've got a guy like Healy, there's always got to be eyes on him. You have to be in the right spot.
Jake Perry's the furthest guy from the football in the snap from the free safety spot, but he fills so well, and he's so good at anticipating what's going on. He and Kenny Williams back there really fill well in the runs.
Golden Bears showing some pressure that Bruce Campbell rolls away from and scampers out of bounds. Very close to midfield for 3rd down and 2.
It's a pretty smart play. Buffalo's got man-to-man coverage on the right side. He takes off. The quarterback, Campbell, realizes it's man-to-man coverage. There's nobody left to make a tackle, so he runs into the vacated area.
It's been part of the evolution of this offense, running Campbell more. He ran for almost 90 yards last week, and he picks up 8 yards there.
It's good recognition by him, because if it's zone defense, he runs right into the cornerback. He knew it wasn't.
Play fake over the middle. He's got Tommy House. That's good for the 1st down. They'll mark him at the 35.
And that time it was zone coverage, and House just went underneath the linebackers as they drop back into their zones. This is a really good read by the quarterback. 83 is going to come in right there. You can see the defensive backs are way back. The linebackers are up in coverage. He just found the open window. A little different than the first time they touched it.
Yeah, it's a little bit different, isn't it? There's a lot that's been going on around East Stroudsburg today. Homecoming festivities spanning yesterday as well. Here's Healy now. They motion him out into the flat, and it'll pick up about 4. Toppled down by Kenny Williams.
Mike Terwilliger, the offensive coordinator, wants to get the ball to Robert Healy. In the first series, he gave it to him. The first 2 runs didn't go anywhere. Now he gets it to him in space on those little safe passes. They're almost like a run. And he's much more productive. He's opened up the entire offense, which opens up the defense by throwing the ball. I like the changes after the first series.
Quickly out of his hands, juking his way down inside of the 20. Here's Javier Buffalo, and the freshman's going to set up 1st and goal.
Didn't we say in the open this is a running team giving it to Robert Healy? Well, they might have heard us, and they have changed their modus operandi. Quick releases. There's the freshman right there. Buffalo made a nice catch, but a better elude. He eluded the tackle, ran down the sideline for a bunch more.
Pronounces it Javier. Looks like Javier Buffalo. 5th catch of the year. A direct snap to Healy is bobbled, and it actually leads to a little bit of a seam. As the pursuit runs by him, he'll pick up 1.5 yards.
Very, very fortunate that the ball bounced right up in his hands. He's the best running back they have. He found the open space.
Healy in search of his 16th touchdown of the year. That's tied for the most of the Division II level. Those are both rushing and receiving. And East Stroudsburg going for the First lead of the day. That's Healy in motion. And it's Roth. You heard the popping of the pads there as Tajir Jefferson, last year's freshman of the year in this league, makes the stop.
As we said, Roth is normally the lead blocker for Robert Healy. We've seen him catch one. We've seen him run right there. So they're changing what they do a little bit. And they've been successful so far. And they have a very good field goal kicker if they need him.
You'd like to see him cash in on this drive, though. 9th play of the drive that started on their own 20. Leading receiver is Tim Wilson at the bottom of the screen. He is the target. A little bit too much mustard on that one with a couple of flags in as well.
Bruce Campbell did a really good job here waiting for Tim Wilson to clear the defensive back. We're pretty sure he got grabbed, but he waited, and that's tough to do when there's guys trying to knock you back.
Interference, defense, number 31. Correction, 26. Ball be placed and spotted foul. First down.
Well, he meant 36. He was close. 31, 26.
Not
it's
bad.
36.
Yeah, Cox Cowan gets him, but watch the quarterback wait till he releases and gets inside, and he would have been open, except a key Cox Cowan grabs him.
So that preserves the drive and gives him another fresh set of downs. This one will start at the 2.
Now you would think Mr. Healy gets the football.
You just might think. Roth is going to pave the way as Healy will go underneath the pile for his 15th rushing touchdown of the year and 16th overall.
He is money when they get in close. He's money anywhere on the field, but when they get in close, they're not taking any chances. They're giving the ball to Robert Healy.
Caps an 80-yard drive in 9 plays. And the amazing thing about Healy, he's not that big. He's listed at 190. I think that might even be generous.
Yep.
And 5'10", which is also on the generous scale. But you never see him take a big shot. He's never one who's going to just get smacked as he goes across the middle or down the sideline or even right through the middle of the line like he did there. Dives underneath the big bodies and puts the Warriors on top. Amazing the numbers that he has put up throughout his career. And here on homecoming weekend, he has put the Warriors on top early. Pass interference penalty helps out. 7-0 lead.
Big news from Beverly Hills. Celebrity plastic surgeon Dr. Andrew Orden has discovered an anti-aging breakthrough called Fill and Freeze. And he's giving away 1 million bottles free.
Wow, I'm young again. I don't feel like an old lady. Lines are gone.
It definitely took 10 years off. If I went to a dermatologist here in the city, I would pay $400 for this.
I've spent nearly 30 years looking for an effective, instant breakthrough to reduce the appearance of wrinkles, and I finally found it with Derm Exclusives Fill and Freeze.
This instant wrinkle-removing miracle sells for $60, but get yours now for only $39.95, and will include a second tube free. Dr. Orden will even include these 3 anti-aging bonus treatments, a $200 value free. But you must call to order.
Call 1-800-745-1696. That's 1-800-745-1696. Order now.
When you have credit card debt, the debt suckers, high rate and high pay, never leave you alone.
Debt is really sucking the life out of them.
Yes, they look like that. Warmed over.
He's picking up the phone, probably calling his uncle to borrow money.
Thank you for calling Consolidated Credit.
Oh, no, not Consolidated Credit.
With one call, they can lower their credit card rates.
And consolidate their bills into one low payment.
They'll pay off their debt in no time. Put down the phone. Put down the phone.
Order a pizza.
With extra red sauce. That Consolidated Credit makes it too quick and easy to get rid of us.
Thanks to Consolidated Credit, there can be life after that.
Call Consolidated Credit now and get your life back.
Because debt sucks.
Call 1-800-344-0072. 800-344-0072. That's 800-344-0072. Call now.
Well, not the typical drive for Healy and the Warriors, for Healy racking up the yardage. He only has 3 yards rushing total in 2 possessions, but he does have that touchdown. That's pretty typical of the Warriors.
Well, they really spread it out. They threw it all over the field. They gave the ball a few times to Sean Roth, throwing, catching, and running. But it worked. They gave it to the money man when they needed it. He got the big 2 yards to put him 7 on the board.
Nicholas Ruiz sends one to 3 men that the Golden Bears put back there. This is the middle of the trio, and it is Craig Reynolds who uses a stiff arm to get himself out across the 25 and pick up almost 10 more yards after that. Second possession coming up here for the Golden Bears. First one looked pretty promising before stalling out on downs inside of the 30-yard line of the Warriors.
Well, unlike East Stroudsburg in the past that we saw on tape, Kutztown wants to throw it and run it. We'll see if they can be more effective.
This is a special health alert for seniors suffering with joint pain. If you have Medicare insurance, you may qualify for high-quality support braces at little or no cost.
I'm thrilled with my knee braces.
Now, there is a simple and proven solution for seniors to get out of pain with state-of-the-art support braces.
I barely feel any pain at all.
Braces for your knees and back, as well as your shoulders and ankles, too.
I'm so happy with the quality of these braces.
Call now, and you could qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost.
I can play ball again, and it doesn't hurt.
And because of my Medicare coverage, it costs me next to nothing.
So call now.
And because I have this red, white, and blue Medicare card, my braces have cost me just about nothing.
It's true. You may get a knee, back, shoulder, and ankle brace at little or no cost.
They qualified me for 2 knee braces and a back brace.
If you have knee or back pain, give them a call. They can help.
1-800-959-3216. 1-800-959-3216.
Attention, catheter patients on Medicare. I'm a professional cowboy, and I use catheters. Been cowboying for 25 years. I've broken 14 bones, had 2 concussions, and a punctured lung. I know pain, and I don't want any more of it, especially when I cath. Now, I use these new nearly painless catheters. They hurt less. Compared to the old ones, these ain't nothing. Here's how it works. You call and you get a free catheter sample. I was just like you, wondering if I should call. Boy, I'm glad I did. Give yourself a break from pain and try these new catheters. You won't know unless you try them. Give them a call now. You have nothing to worry about. They bill Medicare and your insurance company. You pay nothing up front. You get your free, nearly painless catheter sample sent right to your home.
For your free comfort kit, call 800-239-8159. That's 800-239-8159, 800-239-8159.
It's one of the biggest names in the history of East Stroudsburg now. Able to smile on the off week. That's James Franklin, third-year coach at Penn State. Coming off a win over Maryland last week. He's got the bye week now. And next week, the big one against Ohio State under the lights at Beaver Stadium. Denny Dowds calls him still the best dual-threat quarterback in the PSAC history.
That's a rare sight when you see a college football coach at a Power 5 school come back to his school for homecoming. The off week worked out perfect for him, and you can see the enjoyment in his face to see the old buddies and his old team.
Wow, look at that hole. A gaping one right up the middle for Craig Reynolds. Then he jukes out Versicko, shoves Versicko away, and steamrolls down to the 19.
Well, we told you they had 3 running backs. This is just one of them. The redshirt sophomore, Craig Reynolds, really nobody touched him. In one move, Versicko, he shakes him a little bit. And then it's a foot race. And 35 Jimmy Versicko finally slows him down enough to tackle him, or he was gone.
48 yards for Reynolds, and just like their opening possession, the Golden Bears are threatening again on their second possession. Here's DeGalbo. Everyone bites on the fake up the middle. DeGalbo shakes one and scores. 2 plays later, 30 seconds later, the Golden Bears are within a point.
First play of the game, give it to Craig Reynolds. Second play of the series, I should say, fake it to Craig Reynolds. Everybody goes near him. Colin DeGalbo sprints to the end zone, 19 yards.
Okay, but here's the adventure part.
Yep.
So that drive looked fine, but this is now Brandon Keffer. Keep an eye on DeGalbo, he is the holder. And the soccer player Keffer just does push one across the crossbar to tie the game. They've missed at least one extra point in all 6 of their games to this point, but Keffer is true to tie the game after a couple of rushes span a total of 67 yards in 2 plays.
Nice fake by DeGabo, giving it to the man who just busted one for forever. The defense sucked in. DeGabo escapes one tackle and gets in for 19 yards. You really don't see an extra point celebrated that much, but these guys have missed them. So they celebrate all the ones they make. You can't blame them.
I'm going to give you a trivia question here, talking about James Franklin a minute ago, who's on the sideline. Obviously, he's reached the heights that he is at now at Penn State, formerly successful stint at Vanderbilt. Always knew he wanted to get into coaching. Where did he begin his coaching career?
I'm taking a guess here. Maybe under Coach Dowds?
No, but I'm leaving it out here for you. You've got a 50-50 shot, and you just missed on your first one.
How about a Kutztown?
Yes, there you go.
Nice hint. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'll just guide you along. It's your birthday today. I know you're a little slow.
I appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Played for East Stroudsburg and was really good. As Coach told us, one of the best option quarterbacks ever, and started for the opponent tonight. Or excuse me, started coaching for the opponent.
That's right. 2 schools not separated by much. Less than an hour between these 2 schools here in Pennsylvania. Here's Fells now just inside the 10. Got some nice blocking as he flies out across the 30. 25-yard return.
If it wasn't for Chisholm Wilkerson, he would have busted it for a lot more, but he made a nice play on special teams. Number 53. Good position. You saw what they did the first series, run, incomplete pass. Second series, really good down the field for a 2-yard touchdown. We'll see what they throw at the Golden Bears this series.
One thing that's been a consistent in this series between these 2, points. Lots of points.
That's what everybody told us. There's going to be a lot of points tonight.
There's Healy now. He's bumped out of bounds. That'll net him about 6. Zach Delp, the captain, pushed him out.
Runs right into his head coach and puts on the brakes so he doesn't knock down Coach Dowds. But once again, really good timing. Campbell throws the ball before he even makes his break. They're getting him the ball in different spots of the field. Turn, throw, and watch the boss at the bottom of the picture. Look out, Coach. I'm not going to hit you, Coach, I promise. Coach Dowds probably would have grabbed him.
False start on the offense. Number 71. 5-yard penalty. First down.
The least experienced man on that offensive line, Levi Murphy, the redshirt freshman. Talking about Coach Dowds, it amazes me his enthusiasm after as many years as he has done it here. I mean, I love to be around him. He's a really neat guy.
The academic side of the football team here is highly stressed. Dowds is a professor himself, and you get the undeniable fact of the family atmosphere anytime you talk with him.
Well, the thing I love when we talked to him this week, you asked him, Coach, what have we missed? What do we need to talk about for your school and your football program? He said, we need to have young men to come here with a passion, and I thought he was going to say to play football. He said a passion to graduate, and then a passion to play football. So it's very important, as evidenced by the way he told us, and as evidenced by as many years that he's been here.
He's faced 107 different coaches, and Campbell here is the 32nd different starting quarterback he has had.
43 years at the school. This is the 43rd time he's played Kutztown. That's wild.
3rd and long. Pocket breaks down. Campbell eyes the sticks, picks up the first down into the arms of Zach Delp. Couple-time all-conference member here. One of the all-time tackle leaders for the Golden Bears.
Yeah, he looked like he was going to take a slide here, and then he ran into Delp. You can see there's nothing open. Good coverage on the back end. Get what you can get. I'm sure the coaches will tell him slide next time. The extra yard's not that important right now.
2 straight 3rd down conversions for the Warriors offense now. Handles the high snap, and Healy will fall forwards. Pick up about 4.5.
Now there's a play that looks like it's not going to get a yard, and he gets almost 5 out of it. Great vision, good lateral movement. And Robert Hilly makes a nice play. As we said, Bruce Campbell played behind a great one, and Matt Soltis, he has paid his dues. He's been a backup. He's a redshirt senior now, and it's his turn.
Empty out the backfield. Healy wants it in the flat, but that didn't get there. And we have a flag down. Eric Condren came in with the hit.
Foul. Roughing the passer. Number 97, defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Condren hit him a little late here, but Condren missed the first 2 games, and he's 4th in the league in sacks. See how he gets through here. Oh, that's way late. That's a good call. He just knocked down the right guard, Norman Rogers, and just bull rushed him.
Jim Clements pointed out, without hesitating, that getting Condren back is another one of the unsung keys to this 3-game winning streak that they've got. DeGalbo gets all the credit, but having the big body back in the middle of the defensive line has been equally as important for him. Healy was covered in the flat. Campbell takes a punishing hit.
I don't know if Javer Buffalo ran the wrong route, but it looked very confusing at the top of your picture. Watch 15. He's right there, and he wants to throw it to him, and he kind of runs into the defender, and then the pocket breaks down, and once again, Eric Condren and company get him. That just looked bad from the snap.
And still, Condren gets in virtually untouched to blow that thing up. 2 straight times he's gotten in against a very experienced offensive line. There's just one new face in it. Campbell with a lot of air under it is picked off. Buffalo had already gone out of bounds, so he didn't want to touch it. And then Perry will make the decision to take it out. And he lost 5 yards because of it. Instead of taking a knee and putting him at the 20, he gambles there at the 15.
I'm sure Coach Terwilliger is going to talk to his quarterback and say, just throw this one away. They rolled the pocket to get away from pressure. He just throws it up. Nice block out by one defensive back. And then Perry makes the pick. Got to throw a little basketball in as we're close to basketball season. It was a nice block out. That's what he did. And you know he's talking to Coach Mike Terwilliger right now, just saying, throw it out of bounds.
The offensive coordinator, Terwilliger, a former quarterback here. In fact, the first quarterback to play under Denny Dowds. He's been with them the whole coaching tenure. Parton is stopped after a pickup of about 4.5. Justin Johnson, a redshirt freshman safety with the stop.
You can hear the pads cracking from our good job by our crew with the sound there as Justin Johnson filled from his safety spot.
Very young secondary, a very young team for East Stroudsburg. 58 underclassmen. And you'll hear freshmen and redshirt freshmen a lot once these guys get to the 3rd level. That, however, is one of the leaders of the defense, Mike Wyand, and a Penn State transfer.
There's one of the 3 running backs, that's James Waugh. We talked about Craig Reynolds with the big-time run he had, and they have Darrell Scott as well. And they just keep throwing fresh bodies in there, fresh legs.
They call themselves the stable, those running backs.
Great.
Scott and Waugh, the seniors. Reynolds, the sophomore. There's 3rd down and 3. Galbo flips that ball patiently and then zips it out there to Parton for the first down.
Kellen Williams and Parton on the same side. Kellen Williams just runs the deep. Parton runs a little out, and the defensive back slid back, wide open, easy completion, easy conversion to a first down.
Look how comfortable DeGalbo looks. 4th career game, 4th consecutive start. Gets himself out of the pocket here, and he's going to pick up back-to-back first downs. First completion to Nathan Hollander. That'll get him out to the 41.
Galbo is doing a really good job of seeing which half of the field's got the opening. He's going to fake it and he'll roll a little bit right. Hollander just comes into the picture, and there's not a red shirt within 10 yards of him. Everybody dropped back deep. He knew where the open spot would be, and he found number 19.
Here's Wah with a good cutback, and those turf monsters got him. He picks up 7.
Boy, he doesn't lose his balance. He's gone. Good job up front. We saw the huge hole for Craig Reynolds. He was untouched till he got beyond the 3rd level. And Wah got in the 2nd level and just tripped.
Quickly, DeGalbo gets it out of his hands. Again, that's part of that extension of the running game. Very balanced offense. Just about 215 yards a game, both in the passing and running game, and a lot of it is Parton there on the outside.
We asked Coach Clemens, you know, this is his 4th start. Did you throw the whole playbook at him early? He said no, and we're not going to. We're using what's working. We'll go a little bit each week. He said we go in with about 50 plays, and because of the defense, we figure which ones are going to work. Don't throw too much on me, young man.
And now it's Reynolds with the cutback to the outside, and Reynolds with the extra gear is gone. 51 yards for Craig Reynolds.
See this again. Watch who throws the last block to free Reynolds down by the goal line. Pretty impressive. Watch this one. Keep your eye on number 17 way after Reynolds gets the ball. Watch DeGalbo run down the field. Look at 17 left side of your picture. He throws the last block for no pursuit to get near the touchdown run.
Then he handles a bad snap and gets it down for Keffer to put it through.
Great job holding that one. That was way over his head on the snap.
Well, we asked him who's the leader of this team. He said it's DeGalbo, unquestionably. And maybe this is one of the reasons the redshirt freshman has acclimated himself so quickly.
He puts a good job on Jimmy Verzicko, the safety, and he might not have caught him, but there was no question he wasn't going to catch him because the quarterback blocks 35 yards downfield.
So one of the longer runs of the year for one of the big playmakers for the Golden Bears. Gives Kutztown its first lead of this first quarter, a 21-point first quarter.
And you know that when that quarterback walks over to the sideline, Colin DeGalbo is going to have every offensive lineman high-fiving him for beating him down the field and making a block. Especially if they win this game. When they watch that tape, they're going to go nuts in the film room. That's really cool. You don't see quarterbacks do that.
No, they don't have to.
That's true.
Give the ball off and just hang out.
Stand there.
They don't want to go down and take those hits.
I don't know if he was running to celebrate and then figured, I'm here, I might as well block somebody. But it worked.
Craig Reynolds has had himself an evening in the first quarter. 5 carries, 103 yards. This is really short, taking it to 15. Fells waits for that hole and takes a big one. Out at about the 32. Pads have been popping all throughout this first quarter. They do again.
Well, when you hesitate and slow down and a defense that's coming to make the tackle is going 100 miles an hour, that's what happens.
It's Nieves. Another part of this defense that missed a couple of games, but a big key. Here's Healy. Look at that. He doesn't even get hit as he goes through the line. At 5'10", 190. Kenny Williams on the stop.
And Williams goes to hit him, and he just sidesteps him. And yes, Williams makes the tackle, but he doesn't really deliver a blow. If you can avoid getting hit, you can last a lot longer in a football game and in a season.
And a career.
Yep.
Poised to become the all-purpose yardage leader all time at East Stroudsburg today. Buffalo went in motion that way, and then underneath Tommy House is the intended target. It'll be 3rd down.
Just didn't square those shoulders enough to throw on balance. House was open, he just overthrew him.
It's going to be the end of the quarter. So the interception from Campbell leads to the go-ahead touchdown for the Kutztown Bears. Your harvest moon here in the Poconos, and 100 yards in the quarter for Reynolds.
If you are age 85 or younger,
call 800-859-7357.
To learn more about our senior plans from Angel Care Insurance Services, the average funeral now costs over $7,000, but the most government benefits will pay your family is only $255, leaving your loved ones to pay your debt. Our senior plans will pay up to $30,000 for funeral and other final expenses. There is no medical exam, and you will have lifetime coverage. Your rates will never increase, your benefits will never decrease, and your plan cannot be canceled. To receive free information about our senior plans and their benefits, call the number on your screen now. Also, receive information about a free prescription discount card by calling now. There is no obligation. Operators are standing by.
Call 800-859-7357.
If you want to shed the fat and sculpt your core to get those sexy toned abs of your dreams, then stop doing sit-ups. Say what? And start dancing with Hip Hop Abs, the fun new ab sculpting system from Insanity creator Sean T.
I don't want you to ever get down on the floor to do crunches again. I'm gonna break it down so you burn the fat and sculpt those abs fast.
Just do Sean's easy to follow moves to work your upper abs, middle abs, lower abs, and obliques, all while you're dancing.
I went from a size 18 to a size 2. I have abs now. I've got a six-pack.
And now the complete $80 Hip Hop Abs system is 75% off. That's right, Hip Hop Abs is only $19.95. We'll even upgrade you to express shipping free. Get the complete Hip Hop Abs system for only $19.95.
Call 1-800-635-5153 or order online at gethiphopabs.com. That's 1-800-635-5153. Call now.
This telecast is sponsored by the NCAA Division II President's Council. Welcome to NCAA Division II, where the pursuit of excellence is yours to create. In Division II, student athletes excel academically, athletically, and in the community for life after graduation. The opportunities are endless. Make it yours. A late touchdown there in the quarter has given the Golden Bears their first lead of the night. What a gorgeous night it is. Temperatures in the upper 40s right now. Perfect October Pennsylvania weather here for a matchup in the PSAC. And we bring you back with a third down try for Bruce Campbell and company. That's going to fall incomplete. There was a lot of contact downfield.
Well, the defense for the Warriors won't get much of a rest. And they got to go out there, especially that D-line, and make a stand to try to stop the Golden Bears from rushing right down their throat on gash plays.
Third-year sophomore Sam O'Brien takes another low snap. And this one will be fielded. He took a fair catch in the first quarter.
Yeah, I thought it looked like he was ready for a fair catch, but he never made the signal.
And Marcus Fells is down there to apply the hit immediately.
Unless you make the signal, you got to be able to run and at least protect yourself, catch the ball, and catch a Warrior at exactly the same time. Good play, man. It's a legal play.
You're right. I think he thought about it. The left arm kind of came up hip level.
I mean, if you hesitate, you're in trouble there. You can't look down to see who's coming at you, then you won't catch the football.
Good start for DeGalbo and company. They've averaged 11 yards a play. Individually, 7 out of 10. Also has a big run. Here's part of that three-headed backfield. That's James Waugh.
Got a really good block, too. Let's not forget that.
Yes, and a good block. The similarity between these two teams, they both have veteran offensive lines.
Yep. And when this team with the football needs you are, they're going over that left side, especially over that left tackle, Jordan Morgan, 67.
They say over 25 teams have been over to Kutztown to watch Morgan practice. Here's Barton again. Such a vital part of that offense. They allow that screen to him really without any traffic, and then Versico the first to touch him after 8 yards.
Really good job. Barton catches it. Watch 19 Hollander. It's like a running play. Both wideouts set up for blocks. 19 had the other block, and then looked like Austin Myers had the kick out is what it is on the outside of the field, basically.
2 out of 4 on third downs, including the touchdown from Reynolds, and he almost got away again. The helmet comes flying off Dakota Everett, who makes the stop and potentially saved another long Robinson touchdown run.
Over the left side where Jordan Morgan is and Matt Sella, the freshman. But the big senior makes a big play. Opens up another huge hole. The run game is working for the Golden Bears.
Now it's Daryl Scott who's in the backfield. So we've seen them all to this point. Everyone in that stable. Now Scott's the decoy for this play fake as DeGalbo steps up and rifles one through traffic. Goodbye, Hollander. 20 on the board for the Golden Bears. I think the Golden Bears have found themselves a quarterback for the next 3.5 years.
Unbelievable. 4th start, the last 3 games he throws for close to 250 average. And this time, Verzicchio just jumped it a little bit, came up a little too quick on an angle. Touchdown, Nathan Hollander. We'll see it in a moment.
The poise to step up in the pocket with a lot of traffic around him, and then all of the oomph behind the throw.
The thing I love about him is he steps up in the pocket to throw. He doesn't step up to run. And he kept looking downfield and he found his intended receiver.
Media timeout.
1 minute and 34 seconds. 4 plays and 69 yards. Man, they can score quickly. A 51-yard touchdown run on the last possession and a 42-yard bullet. And a run for the score.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 800-683-1116, 800-683-1116.
People ask me all the time, George, what do I do with my idea for a new product? I tell them, call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been providing patent referrals, preparing ideas, and submitting to companies for more than 30 years.
I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
For your free inventors information, call 1-800-560-0585. That's 1-800-560-0585.
Well, the only team that has stopped the Golden Bears tonight has been the Golden Bears. Turned it over on downs on their first possession, and twice they have scored in 4 plays or fewer.
That's a red shirt freshman. He's going to be around a while.
Who's already 3-0 and has this team in position to make a run at the PSAC East Division Championship. After starting 0-3, this team was down on the mat. You start 0-3 and you start questioning yourself. You've got eyes looking around at each other in the locker room, thinking, is this the year that we're going to just labor our way through an entire fall?
Boy, has he flipped the switch, or they have flipped the switch because of the all-around good play, but basically because DeGalbo has just taken over.
Keep it away from Fells. And the Warriors will start from their 30. That's Elijah Rem, the true freshman, who gets him out to the 30. This game was 7-0 East Stroudsburg. A 2-play touchdown drive tied it. Then an interception in the end zone as the Warriors were gunning to reclaim the lead. Campbell threw really to only one guy back there, and it was the defender there, Jake Perry.
And that touchdown drive, he threw it all over the field very effectively.
Got to get something going here. So, of course, they're going to try Robert Healy. And Healy skips his way for 3.
You know, Darren, it's almost like a confidence thing. If they don't give it to Healy, everybody else is subconsciously thinking, geez, what are we doing? I mean, this is what we do. He gets the football. Now, I'm not saying give it to him every play, but I think you got to establish him, and then they've proven they can throw it.
And Healy has had trouble picking up yards today. Healy in this offense. Healy has 14 yards on the ground. He has 12 yards receiving.
Big difference because of those huge 3 or 4 running plays.
Now, big plays are the difference. You've got a 51-yard touchdown run and a 42-yard touchdown pass.
A 49-yard run that wasn't a touchdown.
Campbell has his receiver get knocked down, and the flags come flying with Wilson the intended target.
This one's pretty obvious.
Interference on the defense. Number 36. 15-yard penalty. First down.
It's the second on Cox Cowan today.
Yeah, the freshman at Key Cox Cowan. From the left side of your picture, you'll see the receiver come in. And the little deep post, and he just knocks him down. I mean, you can't do that. You don't even have to ask for the flag, Mr. Wilson. If you don't get that one, you can, I don't know what, you can just protest the game.
Well, that would be an option, I guess.
I mean, that was pretty obvious.
2, maybe 3 more for Healy, but that's about it. This defense that only allows 102 yards a game on the ground is really keyed on him. They've come to their backup quarterback here, DeGiorgio.
Yep.
And DeGiorgio hits Wilson. It'll be 3rd down and 4.5.
Lefty redshirt junior. I think Bruce Campbell's okay. We will try to check it out and find out. DeGiorgio's a big kid as well, 6'3", 210.
Redshirt junior, transferred in from Temple. Faces the pressure and then throws it off the hands of Wilson. So another Temple transfer. Sam O'Brien will be out there to punt.
He had Tommy House with no white jersey near him. Watch 83 if he comes into the frame. He throws the ball to the outside, but look at 83. There's nobody near him, and he knows it too. Would have gotten the first down, would have gotten the easy one. But sometimes you come in the game, you just stare at one receiver. You don't see the field because you haven't played a lot.
Second straight drive for the Warriors that did not pick up a first down. At least the offense didn't. The defense gave him 1 first down. Pressure came on O'Brien, but it's his best punt of the day. That one hit the back leg of a Golden Bear.
That ball could change hands in that pile. That's the job. Rip it loose. There's nobody in a striped shirt's getting near it yet.
54 down there is Dakota Everett. He doesn't have it. And the Golden Bears have saved the possession. Reynolds did it.
Watch the... right on his heel, right hit him in the back. Now it's a loose football, and it's anybody's football. Good job holding on because everybody wanted to rip it loose.
Tyshawn Harmon, who's at that point just got to get out of the way.
Yep. That's a break.
Worst starting field position of the day. This is at their own 13. Here's Reynolds, Mike Wyand, and Dakota Everett. A couple of linebackers combine on the stop.
Dakota Everett's the guy to try to rip that ball loose from that loose muffed punt. Not really a muffed punt, it just bounced off the wrong guy.
Remember, this defense playing without Sekou Jones, leading tackler on the team.
Mike Poulter as well.
That's right, who would be his backup.
Yep.
And Everett's been banged up this year, so that linebacking core Really playing with that next man up mentality. Wyan comes in, but can't actually take down Reynolds. At least forces him to retrace his steps. It'll be 3rd and 5.
He might not know what team he's on. Wyan really stood him straight up, turned him around, and Craig Reynolds makes a decent play out of nothing. Watch the right side of your picture. 23, boom. And then he has the presence of mind to get something out of it because there was nothing after Wyan popped him. Big play for the defense here.
The last 2 third downs for the Golden Bears have been converted with big plays. Both of them on the ground. DeGalbo wants to go to the air. Barat, the freshman, forces him out of there, and he's grabbed at the ankles by Mark Granato. They'll get that punt unit out of the field.
Good job to get a little pressure with 1 linebacker and 3 down linemen. And Renato wraps him up around the ankles, and they're going to get the football back.
That is the first time this Warriors defense has stopped the Golden Bears. First time they've got the punt unit out there.
Any kind of return, they'll get it on the plus side of the football field, unless it's just a bomb of a punt.
East Stroudsburg needed their defense there.
Yep. They're going to get good position out of this one.
Even better now. Takes an East Stroudsburg bounce. They're going to start inside of the 45.
They needed that like you need your paycheck a couple days early. I mean, a good stop, not a great punt, and they get the ball inside the 45-yard line after just being gashed the last couple of possessions.
I like that one. Like you need your paycheck a couple days early.
Everybody needs it a couple days early.
I'll take them early anytime I can get them. I'll take them late too, for that matter.
I'll take them. As long as I take them.
I mean, whenever you want to get it to me, that's fine, but early is better.
This is a big defense. Just did their job. Now, whether it's Bruce Campbell or DeGiorgio, somebody's got to. It looks like Campbell's back in there. They got to make something happen here.
Looked like they had something going. Touchdown drive and then drove it deep. This one off the helmet of Roth. Healy trying to sell it, but it clearly hits the turf.
Maybe threw that one. He needed about 50 miles an hour. He threw it about 85.
Right where you don't want to be hit, right? Right in the head?
No, exactly. Maybe a touch behind him, but because of the velocity on the ball, jumped up in there. That could have been an easy pick because of the tip drill involved.
Quick drop. And it's Wilson who splits a couple of defenders on the sidelines for a couple of extra yards. It'll be 3rd and 1.
And you always talk about quarterbacks' quick releases. When Campbell catches this ball, it's right by his right ear, and he's ready to throw it. Watch this. He's ready to throw it right now. So it's a quick release. Little shimmy, little shake. Talk about not getting hit. We talk about Robert Healy. That was a good job to get the extra yards and almost get the first down. This is almost on. This is like on the goal line. Robert Healy doesn't get this, I'll be shocked. I say just fool everybody and go for it.
Get the feeling it's probably 4-down territory anyway. But they'll take a shot into double coverage, and it's knocked away and intercepted. Second of the day for Perry, who again takes it out of the end zone and again is shy of the 20. The interception leader in the PSAC. 2 tonight, 5 on the year.
Perry gets it, but I'm pretty sure it's number 2, Kenny Williams, makes an amazing play right there. Goes up, tips the ball. No, excuse me, it wasn't Kenny Williams. It was Key Cox-Cohen, who's been pass interference called a couple times. What a great play to go up, no contact, tip the ball. And then Jake Perry, right place at the right time for another pick. That's a great play by the freshman Cox-Cowan right there.
He was due.
Yeah, he was.
Couple of PIs. One of the PIs set up the only touchdown of the day for East Stroudsburg.
Very athletic, and it wasn't interference. He went over top without touching anybody. All right, defense. If you're a Warriors fan, got to step it up again.
Play fake to Reynolds. Everyone bites, and DeGalbo sprints his way out close to the 40. 21 yards for DeGalbo.
We knew he could throw the ball because of what he's done the last 3 games. And in the last couple games, he started to run it better. Nice fake inside. He can outrun a defensive end all day, and then he just gets it into the third level, and they finally bring him down.
Kutztown hasn't had a quarterback like DeGalbo in the last couple of years. Someone that can pick up ground on his own, gives you that run-pass option that's become the new thing in football. It gives them that dimension. So they might not have the whole playbook open for DeGalbo, but what they do have open,
it works
very well.
Went to a pretty cool high school of John Capoletti. And I'll go way back in the time machine. Al Atkinson, the Jets Super Bowl team.
A lot of Penn State references today. Here's Everett coming through the middle. And that was pretty close to pass interference. The flag comes in late. Chase May, I think, got there early.
It looked like he got there early. Whether he did or not, we're going to find out when we watch again, but it sure looked like it. And that man didn't think he got there early.
Interference, defense, number 31. Ball be placed in the spot of the foul. First down.
Chase May plays a lot of different positions on this defense. We'll see if 31 gets there before or gets there too early. Because the ball was thrown a little behind and he reached back, you could see Chase May's right arm go around the right shoulder of the receiver. That's what they called.
Real time, it looks close. Much worse than it did on the replay.
I agree.
So a fresh set of downs here for the Golden Bears. Wow, what a hit. It's Justin Haynes, the freshman out of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, about 30 minutes outside of here.
That's film study right there. Troy Parton thought maybe I can get a small gain out of this. Haynes just nailed him.
Well, how many times are you going to throw that little slip screen out there to the receiver without finally taking a shot like that?
Well, if it's zone, you got coverage over the top. Jump the route and see what happens. If you miss, you got a safety behind you.
Over the middle, Hollander deflects it incomplete.
Those are dangerous passes when they're a little high and the receiver gets a handle. If the receiver doesn't touch it, it goes incomplete. But it redirects the direction of the football. You can see Hollander gets that right hand up there and just touches it. Hits it a little higher. That might be a pick. Just a touch out of his range.
Galbo and company 3 out of 6 on third downs in this half.
That was 10 of 15, so he's been pretty accurate. They're coming after him. Now they faked it. They didn't come.
On a little bit of a stunt, though, they did get to him. And he throws it low. Adebade, the reserve defensive end, is the one who came in and forced DeGalbo to throw it.
Yeah, watch 91 Adebade. Good little twist. He comes from the outside. They got held and they didn't call, and he just forced him out of where he wanted to be, out of his comfort zone, and threw it before he wanted to.
The Warriors haven't really been able to get to DeGalbo. That time the pressure forced it out of his hands early.
It's cumulative. Maybe in the second half it'll be a little better for them.
It's another short kick, though. And another kick that bounces the Warriors' way. So the Warriors' defense now starting to do their part. It's a question of whether or not Campbell and company can find their rhythm, re-find it.
Yeah, they had it for one series, run right down the field by mixing up running pass very well.
Bruce Campbell and the Warriors offense scoreless since their second drive of the day.
By 2050, we'll need twice the food from the same acreage to feed the world. That's going to take serious innovation. I'm John, research agronomist at Coke. We're challenging ourselves to create more advanced fertilizers that deliver nutrients to our crops more efficiently while respecting our environment so farmers can apply less and grow more. We are Coke.
If your loved one received an IVC filter to prevent blood clots and later experienced complications, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. The FDA warns that IVC filters can move or fracture, causing serious injuries such as heart damage, lung damage, internal bleeding, and even death. Don't wait. Call right now.
Call 800-827-0024. That's 800-827-0024.
Tired of being skinny or scrawny? There are thousands of products designed to help you lose weight, but what if you need to gain weight? Then the CB1 Weight Gainer program is your answer. CB1 Weight Gainer's natural formula of herbs, vitamins, and minerals is for people who suffer a weak appetite or fast metabolism.
I took them for 2 months. I was hungry all the time. I went from 160 to 187.
CB1 really works. In 2 months, I gained 26 pounds.
And every time I stepped on the scale, I saw the weight go up a little bit. With CB1, I gained 30 pounds in 6 months.
CB1 Weight Gainer is a safe and natural weight gain program made in the USA. And we're so confident you'll love CB1. We back it with a 30-day total satisfaction guarantee. Order now and we'll include our 24-page weight gain guidebook, a $19.99 value, absolutely free. But that's not all. We'll also upgrade your order with rush processing, a $6.99 value. Absolutely free. That's right. Save over $25 when you place your order of CB1 now.
Well, the Warriors scored first. Took a 7-0 lead. Ever since, it's been the Golden Bears with 3 consecutive touchdowns as we wish happy birthday to my partner, Nate Ross.
Oh, isn't that special?
Yeah, he was born. Yeah, you were born around the same time as the dinosaur and the invention of the phone.
Yeah, I was the first one to use that one.
And
yeah, the hair is special.
That's what you used to look like,
that's
right?
That's from Kid Play.
Nate and Play.
That's it.
Alex Bocart.
That's guys in the truck. Thank you very much. I won't get mad, but I will get even.
Yeah, how are you going to do that?
I'll be a graphics man someday.
Here's Healy now, stretching it out and isn't going anywhere. Nieves with the little finger wag from Dikembe Mutombo, just a yard.
Well, they've obviously, in the first series, they really keyed in on Healy. The next series, they couldn't because Healy didn't get it as much. They threw it all over the lot and got a touchdown. And now they got to find a happy medium there to get them going again. Now they're empty backfield. Healy's in the slot.
The Golden Bears, have taken away the run. They've taken away Robert Healy, and when you do that to this Warriors team, it's going to take a lot to find some answers. Campbell will try, and he'll sprint for the first down. Delp wraps him at the ankles.
That was a great call by Mike Terwilliger, the offensive coordinator. They had trips to the top, a slot wide left, and it spreads out the defense, and there's the hole right up the middle behind big Levi Murphy. Bruce Campbell makes a nice gain and gets a first down behind the least experienced guy on that line, the redshirt freshman Levi Murphy. Did a really good job pulling.
It's the first down this offense has picked up since their third possession. Now a little bit of room for Healy. Stops on a dime and sends Kenny Williams flying by to pick up the first down.
A little bit of room turned into a lot of play there and a little shake at the end of it. Little option down the line. Read the defensive end. There he is. Pitch it to Healy. You think he's out at the sideline here. Little sidestep and gets about 6 or 7 more.
That right there is the biggest play of the day for Healy.
That's wild.
He's averaging less than 3 yards a carry. He came into the day averaging 6.5.
He had 150 a game on the ground.
Yeah, his numbers are staggering. So what the Golden Bears are doing today is that much more impressive. They're living up to what they've done throughout the year, but when you face a guy like Healy, you expect those numbers to balloon.
Well, they were loading the box, but you can't load the box when there's 5 wide receivers, and that's when Campbell 2 plays ago got the big gain. You got to go out and cover them or they're going to throw it. I'm sure it's an RPO.
Look at that, the little shuffle pass to Healy. That's officially a reception. Nonetheless, it goes for a first down, their third of the drive.
Coach Terwilliger's pulling out the whole playbook here. Watch 29. Look like he's going to block once again. Big 71. Levi Murphy runs through, sets it up. Little shovel pass. Big gain for the redshirt senior Healy.
That play always looks so dangerous.
Well, there's a lot of white shirts around that area when they throw it. Empty again.
Got Healy in the flat. He thought about throwing, then Will. And had his man. Wilson dropped it.
He wanted to throw it first, and then he got a little pressure from Jalen Nieves in his face, and then he ended up throwing it and almost completed it. They are going deep in the playbook. Watch 9 Nieves get up in his face. There's the open man, and then he finally gets a pass off and almost completes it. A little wobble on that spiral.
It shouldn't surprise you. Healy does have a touchdown pass this year. With everything else that he's done, may as well.
Back there by himself now.
It's been the most innovative drive for the Warriors thus far tonight. He'll bounce one to the outside, and Nieves will catch up to him after a pickup of 9, maybe 10.
Now this is what I saw when I watched a lot of tape. Watch number 30 come in motion here like an H-back Roth. Watch the block here. He seals the edge and lets Healy get out to the outside. That's how their run game has been so effective until tonight.
They've showed you a lot on this drive. They've showed you the option, the shovel pass, the halfback pass. And now here's Bell, his first carry of the day, and Bell jukes back to the left before being dragged down by the jersey. Zach Delp with another stop.
You watch Sean Roth here. This play was designed to go right side and outside, but watch James Bell make a cut. Watch 30 Roth. It's supposed to go behind him. He sees it's clogged up, runs into one lineman, makes a nice gain there. Gets about a little more than half of it. Move Levi Murphy around, pulling, big man, 290 pounds.
Back to Bell, nowhere to go. It's the sophomore Jefferson.
Great read defensively, just fills the gap. You can see him from the right side there. You're not going anywhere, I got you.
Well, Nate, you've heard a lot of Zach Delp today. You've heard some from that man right there, Tajir Jefferson. Those two are the leading tackling linebackers in the PSAC. Combined, they have over 100 stops this year. And that one brings up 3rd down and long. Healy starts in the slot, comes in motion and takes it. And he's dropped immediately. That is how you defend it. Tomasetti stays at home, wraps up Healy, and brings up 4th down.
Defensive ends have one job. Don't let anybody get outside to set the edge. Watch Ronnie Tomasetti, 96, do exactly that. He's coming right at him. Don't let him get outside and then make a play. That's perfect defense.
A promising drive appears to have stalled. Here's Nicholas Ruiz. This one will be a 39-yard try for Ruiz, and he nails it.
He was good from 50 warming up.
Finally, some points for the Warriors. Ends a 21-0 run for the Kutztown Golden Bears with 2:28 to go here in the half. He drills it from 39, just 3 off a career best.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Endless pools are an incredible alternative to traditional pools, making it easy and inexpensive to swim at home. Call our toll-free number for a free idea kit. Endless pools are simple to install, easy to maintain, and economical to run. Swim or exercise against a smooth current that adjusts to any speed or ability. Perfect for year-round health, fitness, and relaxation. Call our toll-free number or visit our website for your free Endless Pools idea kit.
When you have credit card debt, the debt suckers, high rate and high pay, never leave you alone.
Debt is really sucking the life out of them.
Yes, they look like that, warmed over.
Speaking of the the phone, probably calling his uncle to borrow money.
Thank you for calling Consolidated Credit.
Oh, no, not Consolidated Credit. With one call, they can lower their credit card rates. And consolidate their bills into one low payment. They'll pay off their debt in no time. Put down the phone. Put down the phone. Order a pizza. With extra red sauce. That Consolidated Credit makes it too quick and easy to get rid of us. Thanks to Consolidated Credit, there can be life after death.
Call Consolidated Credit now and get your life back.
Because debt sucks.
Call 1-800-344-0072. 800-344-0072. That's 800-344-0072. Call now.
Warriors needed that, didn't they? Defense has
Absolutely.
come up with a couple of stops. Offense finally moves it. It stalls a little bit, but it's a 39-yard field goal, just 3 yards off a career best. So it gives them a few more points here late in the half.
More importantly, that man right there, number 7, Bruce Campbell's got to have a little more confidence because I don't know, he didn't lose his confidence, but he was probably thinking, geez, what happened to our offense? Second series, we were really good. First series, we weren't, and then we ran right down the field. They got it back a little bit. Now, if they can get a stop quickly and get the ball back, we know Ruiz has a strong leg. We'll see what happens.
Both teams still working with all of their timeouts.
You can't give Kutztown any more points this half. Going in the locker room, you just can't do it from a mental aspect.
Point of reference, the Golden Bears do get it to begin the second half. Now this one's short. Reynolds takes his time and only gets out to the 21.
Well, you're coming out now as a Warrior defense. You're thinking about a turnover. I mean, we've played well. We stopped them the last series. Let's get the ball back.
Jim Clement's group started 0-3, giving up 45 points and 44 points in 2 of those. And then what's the difference in this 3-game winning streak? Yes, a new quarterback, but look at the yards, 559, 542. Bloomsburg's a good team, too. I mean, they've cleared a couple of hurdles with DeGalbo under center.
And not only have they won 3 in a row, they've won against teams that before the season, after they lost the first 2, probably figured were better than they were. And like I said, he's thrown for almost a 250-yard average in those first 3 games.
Westchester is a very good team.
Threw for 250, 238, and 247 his last 3 games, his 3 starts.
DeGalbo finally gets put to Kellen Williams. You'd think we would call the name of Kellen Williams a few more times. Williams with almost 2,600 career yards. He will, by the time he's done, have every record there is for the Golden Bears receivers.
Coach told us, obviously, he's got great hands. He can really catch. He's a really good blocker on the perimeter as well. He said, my wideouts don't block. They don't play.
Nothing there. 1:22 to play with Darryl Scott stopped, and the Warriors will use their first timeout.
And Coach Denny Dowd shows a little speed there, runs right out to the numbers and tells them, I want the timeout. That was pretty good quicks there, Coach.
We'll talk with Josh Looney at the half, the first-year AD for East Stroudsburg. Denny Dowd's heaped praise on the young Looney. He said, look, he got here and he had his track shoes on and hasn't stopped running since. But what Looney said to us today, he said Denny Dowds is going to ride the officials all game long, but not like other coaches. It is always very polite.
Mr. Official, Mr. Official.
And his threats are, you're going to get a bad grade from us.
It's not as bad as it gets.
It's not the 4-letter words being slung around.
And think of the gravitas he has when he talks to an official. They probably maybe weren't born by the time he was a head coach here.
Mr.
He's
Official, I'm going to give you a bad grade. It's like slapping a kid on the wrist.
I'm going to get it back if they can get a clean punt return.
Scott hasn't had a lot of success today. That one's short and returnable, but the coverage is there.
Got a wall.
And they let him get by. Marcus Fells directs the traffic, and then he's wrapped at the shoulder pads.
That could have been a face mask. That came really close to tackling the helmet right there, too. But they did not throw a flag. Talked about calling for the fair catch. He knew it was punt return left. That's the call. Problem is, you got to get over to the left side of the field. There's one tackle he avoids. There's the second, and now he's got the wall set up. Look at all the red shirts. He's pointing at him, block one more guy. And then watch this around the helmet. I guess it wasn't, but it was close.
So DeGiorgio back in for this possession. A couple of yards there on first down, and another timeout for East Stroudsburg.
We got one more. That's two. Coach Stout stopped that because of the running play.
What a break they get there for Fells. You notice how, with the pressure coming on that punt return, Fells had his body out of the way, caught it all with his hands.
Yep.
Pretty risky move.
If they need reads, like I said, I watched him warm up. He made it from 52, and he missed a couple of them sideways. He had plenty of leg. So they need maybe 5 or 6 yards to get to his max distance, but they want 7, and they got time with one timeout.
Third game played this year for DeGiorgio. The lefty almost crossed the line of scrimmage, then floats one up, and it's caught for the score. It's Tommy House with no flags down.
Giorgio roll out here, clean pocket, and it's Kenny Williams in coverage. He throws it way before Kenny Williams is open to the back shoulder. What a great play. Talk about scoring quick. How about the timeouts the coach called, knowing that he had an opportunity?
Second touchdown pass of the year for DeGiorgio, but the extra point is snap hooked. Nicholas Ruiz, who hadn't missed an extra point all year, just yanks one.
It went about 60 yards, too. He just yanked it left.
Nine straight points for the Warriors. They're within 5 with less than a minute to go in the half. Took him a while, DeGiorgio, to become a part of this offense, but they had a package for him last week and clearly a package for him this week.
Rolls out to his dominant side, which is throws it on the run and just throws it to the back shoulder right there. Tommy House knew where it was going. Kenny Williams didn't. It's pretty easy. He's talking to Coach Terwilliger upstairs, no doubt about it.
Punt return is what set it all up for Marcus Fells. Gambling a little bit. He put him at the 41, and 2 plays later, it's the first touchdown for the Warriors since the second possession of the day. The complexion of this game just flipped on its head, really in the span of about 2.5 minutes on the game clock. Coming up at the half, we will talk with Josh Looney, who we mentioned before. Previously was the director of Division II athletics with the NCAA. Now he is directing the Warriors athletics. Bright young guy, impressive. So after Looney handles the homecoming festivities and the Hall of Fame induction down on the field, that will include James Franklin, part of an 8-member class. He will be up with us at the half.
How can you miss a field goal and then kick it in the middle of the end zone?
I don't know, but that's probably why coaches go bald, get gray hair, kickers.
Oh, no question.
You just put kickers over there and, all right, man, kick. Figure it out.
Well, the defense has really stepped up in the second half of the second quarter. And then the offense did their job after East Stroudsburg gave them the football back. Now, you can't let anything crazy happen here. Kutztown, the way they throw it, they can make something happen in a heartbeat.
They have 2 very quick scoring drives already tonight. DeGalbo throws it low. Did he get out of bounds? No, Kellen Williams did not. So they have all 3 of their timeouts, but not taking one here.
I guess they want to wait till they get in position to make something happen. Well, that'll stop it.
And now, how about this? So now it's 3rd down with the clock stopped. East Stroudsburg has a timeout still.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's a great point. If they don't make it here, you know Coach Dowd's going to stop it. And now, you could run the clock out. Now you got to do something to make a 1st down here. You're going to give the ball back to a team that's hot.
They're 3 out of 8 on 3rd down, and they've missed their last 4. You can scratch that off the books. That's a 1st down, and it stops the clock to Hollander, who has a touchdown already tonight.
That's a really good job. Everybody goes deep, or at least beyond the 1st down markers, and Hollander just runs an under route. And once again, Colin DeGalbo has the patience and the offensive protection to have time to throw it.
DeGalbo, 13 out of 20, 131 in a score. He's rushed for 41 in a score. Now it's Kellen Williams. That same little hitch on the outside, and again, he doesn't get out of bounds. They'll burn a timeout here. 19 seconds to go in the half.
Well, as we have mentioned numerous times, they ain't kicking a field goal. They got to score a touchdown here. If that's, I mean, that's got to be their game plan, to try to score a touchdown. 19 seconds, you got a couple plays with the timeouts before you can just chuck one up into the end zone. And they have very capable receivers, and Hollander, as we saw before, can catch and go with it. They all can.
You know, we should have checked this out before. So that's on me. But I wonder how many other schools in all levels of NCAA had not attempted a field goal this year. This is week 7.
Not many, I would think.
There's not a chance that list is long.
But if you ask their coaches right now, they're 3 for 3 in PATs. That's all that counts.
Which is big for them.
Yes, it is. Especially, even more so, that East Stroudsburg just missed one.
The leaders in the PSAC East Division, Kutztown at 3-0 in league play. East Stroudsburg at the start of the day, one of 4 teams a game back in the division. Good pocket here for DeGalbo. It's behind Kellen Williams. He still brings it in, and they'll mark him down at the 24.
Now that time, East Stroudsburg had a little twist up front, but the Golden Bears offensive line picked it up perfectly, gave him plenty of time to throw it. That was important because that wasn't a quick throw. That took a couple seconds to develop because he had to get downfield. Watch how clean this pocket is. There's the twist by both sides, left and right. They picked it up perfectly in front of the defensive backs, behind the linebackers. Good catch for Kellen Williams. He's the main target, or has been before tonight as far as touchdowns. He got 6 of them.
In terms of really everything. He has been for 4 years, but he hasn't really been a big part of this offense up until the latter stages of this half. That's his biggest play of the night. And still with a timeout in 12 seconds, you easily have a shot at 2 plays.
Oh, no question.
Jim Clements just in his 3rd year.
This is when defensively you got to make a tackle in the field of play to keep that clock running.
Force him to use that timeout.
Yep. If not, you let him go out of bounds. They get an extra play basically because they have the one in their pocket.
They only rush those 4 down linemen. I think DeGalbo's arm was hit. So it floats up there and Copes can't make the play.
Boy, Isaiah Copes had it. He knows he had it. Now, granted, if the ball was tipped, it might have had a crazy spin on it. But Isaiah Copes was dropping back in coverage as everybody in a red shirt was. See if this ball's hit by, if DeGalbo, somebody gets a hand on it or deflects it. Left side of your picture, watch number 19, Copes. Might have hit his arm. Yeah, it was a weird rotation. Kind of made it dive a little bit. Like a topped pitching wedge. Not that I know anything about it.
I don't know anything about those. Not me. I flush every one of them. Still 7 seconds and a timeout. They'll take a shot at the end zone and have one more play remaining. Nicely defended by the freshman Andre Gray.
Yeah, Andre Gray did a good job. He's been burned a couple times we saw on tape in long ones, but that time he was right there. And this is definitely the last play. 1 second, watch 10. Gets over there in coverage, turns his head right at the last second when the receiver reaches for the ball. That's perfect execution. If you don't turn, they're going to call PI on you, but he did right when the receiver reached for it. That's smart. Don't let anybody get behind you and make a play if you're East Stroudsburg.
Kellen Williams, the only receiver at the top of the screen. They'll throw it that way with 2 men there. And the Warriors bring help on Kellen Williams and deflect it away.
Justin Johnson, really good job coming over as a center fielder. They had 2 safeties, slapped it down. Nice play.
So the Warriors give up 21 unanswered, come back and close the half with 9 straight points to get themselves within 5. But the story of the half is Colin DeGalbo. And the story of this half of the season to this point has also been Colin DeGalbo. Unbeaten since DeGalbo took over the reins at Kutztown and atop the PSAC East. And with James Franklin, the Penn State coach, in attendance and entering the Hall of Fame here at East Stroudsburg this weekend, it's been a battle here in the PSAC East and a battle for supremacy in the division and the inside track to the PSAC championship game at the end of the year. A 5-point game at the half.
Red 97! Set! Red 97!
Did you say 97?
Yes.
You know, that reminds me of Geico's 97% customer satisfaction rating.
97%?
Helped by Geico's fast and friendly claim service. Huh.
Oh yeah, baby. Geico's as fast and friendly as it gets.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
If you are age 85 or younger,
call 800-859-7357.
To learn more about our senior plans from Angel Care Insurance Services. The average funeral now costs over $7,000, but the most government benefits will pay your family is only $255, leaving your loved ones to pay your debt. Our senior plans will pay up to $30,000 for funeral and other final expenses. There is no medical exam, and you will have lifetime coverage. Your rates will never increase, your benefits will never decrease, and your plan cannot be canceled. To receive free information about our senior plans and their benefits, call the number on your screen now. Also, receive information about a free prescription discount card by calling now. There is no obligation. Operators are standing by.
Call 800-859-7357.
Big news from Beverly Hills. Celebrity plastic surgeon Dr. Andrew Orton has discovered an anti-aging breakthrough called Fill and Freeze, and he's giving away 1 million bottles free.
Wow, I'm young again. I don't feel like an old lady. The lines are gone.
It definitely took 10 years off. If I went to a dermatologist here in the city, I would pay $400 for this.
I've spent nearly 30 years looking for an effective, instant breakthrough to reduce the appearance of wrinkles, and I finally found it with Derm Exclusives Fill and Freeze.
This instant wrinkle-removing miracle sells for $60, but get yours now for only $39.95, and we'll include a second tube free. Dr. Orton will even include these 3 anti-aging bonus treatments, a $200 value free, but you must call to order.
Call 1-800-745-1696. That's 1-800-745-1696. Order now.
People ask me all the time, George, what do I do with my idea for a new product? I tell them, call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been providing patent referrals, preparing ideas, and submitting to companies for more than 30 years.
I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
For your free inventor's information, call 1-800-560-0585. That's 1-800-560-0585.
Ready up on one in the back, up on one in the back, go to work.
Hall of Fame weekend, homecoming, a lot going on. James Franklin is in town with Penn State on their bye week, part of an 8-member class inducted into the East Stroudsburg Hall of Fame this weekend. And he's been having himself quite a grand old time on the sidelines.
He's reliving all the glory days for the fans, for, I'm sure, teammates. It's homecoming. Everybody comes back to homecoming. He's loving it. As I said, major college football coaches don't get to do this. On a week off, they have something else to do, but it worked out perfectly scheduling for East Stroudsburg and for Coach Franklin.
And the luxuries of being a major Power 5 head coach. He was here this morning for the Hall of Fame official induction ceremony. He bolts out of here on the Penn State private jet. I don't know where he went. He goes recruiting. Then he comes back to be here for the game and here at the half.
Let's give him credit. He didn't have to come back for this.
Of course not.
That's pretty cool. Obviously, it's respect for Coach Dowds and for the school. And you can see right there, he's enjoying this.
Oh, yeah. Only about 2 hours outside of State College. And that was one of the big, I would say, recruiting coups for Penn State in luring James Franklin away from Vanderbilt. The fact that it's a Pennsylvania guy coming home.
Sure. Coach Franklin's the next to be introduced. This place will enjoy this maybe as much as he will. It's good stuff.
Finally, the smile's gone, right?
Well, now he's got to be a little humble to introducing him. Talking about his accolades. Coach Dowds told us he was a heck of a quarterback here.
When Coach Dowds talks about the meaning of having someone like James Franklin as an alumnus of the school.
In the same state, too.
Yes, and it goes back to the foundation of the program. It goes back to, it shows the kids in this program that anything is possible. Absolutely. Whether it's academics, whether it's the real world work, whether it's football, it doesn't matter. But it's proof that someone can come from here and reach the heights of the profession. More to come here at the half from the Pocono Mountains here in Pennsylvania. East Stroudsburg with a little bit of a late charge in the first half to get within 5.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub, with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 800-683-1116, 800-683-1116.
Are you tired of paying expensive cable or satellite bills month after month? Now you see them. Now you don't. You don't need expensive cable or satellite anymore. All you need is the free TV key from Clear TV. Now you can watch your favorite broadcast network shows for free. The free TV key hides behind your TV and is easy. Just plug it into your TV's cable input. No wires, no unsightly antennas. Your television will instantly receive top-rated network shows, local news and weather, sporting events, and more, all for free in vivid HD and digital signal. There's no contracts, no monthly fees, and no unexpected rate increases. Call or go online now to get your free TV key HD digital antenna for just $19.99. Order right now and you can add a second free TV key. Just pay separate processing and handling. That's 2 free TV keys, a $40 value, all for only $19.99. Not available in stores. Order now.
Attention blood thinner users. Thousands of blood thinner users may have been exposed to serious risk by these dangerous medications. If your loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. If we don't win, there is no fee. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 800-858-4026. That's 800-858-4026.
Division II National Showcase from the PSAC. And it's a 5-point game here at the half. It was the Warriors who actually struck first, Nate. And then the Golden Bears who continued just rolling right along with DeGalbo as the starting quarterback.
Yeah, Robert Hilly had the 2-yard run after the second series for the home team. And then that man right there, DeGalbo, just took off. 19-yard run for the touchdown. There's the first touchdown for East Stroudsburg. Early in the second series, they touched the ball, and then this guy just took over the football game. End of the first quarter, big-time run. After a really long run by Craig Reynolds that set up that run, gave it to Reynolds one play, faked it to him the next. And then they started chucking the ball over the field. There's Hollander with a long one. And there's really good defense. East Stroudsburg with the back shoulder throw from the backup quarterback gets them back in this thing.
That was a big play there late in the first half. It was a 2-play drive that was set up by a long punt return to the 41-yard line. So the Warriors held in check in terms of Healy, who has just 70 total yards. They're outgained by 145 yards, but they're right in this thing, down by 5. And it will be the Golden Bears who have it to begin the second half. First-year AD here with East Stroudsburg, Josh Looney, will join us when we get you back here to the Poconos.
This is important news for diabetics who have been injured by Invokana or similar diabetes medications. The FDA has issued a warning linking use of Invokana, Farxiga, Jardiance, Zigduo, and Glyxambi to serious medical conditions such as kidney failure, heart attack, ketoacidosis, stroke, coma, and even death. If you or a loved one used one of these diabetes medications and then suffered kidney failure, heart attack, or any of these conditions, you may be eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. If you or a loved one took Invokana or another of these diabetes medications and then developed one of these medical conditions, call the offices of Davis and Crump and see if you are eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Our first consultation is free and confidential, and we don't get paid unless you get paid. Call the law offices of Davis and Crump right now. Operators are standing by.
If you are age 85 or younger,
call 800-859-7357.
To learn more about our senior plans from Angel Care Insurance Services. The average funeral now costs over $7,000, but the most government benefits will pay your family is only $255, leaving your loved ones to pay your debt. Our senior plans will pay up to $30,000 for funeral and other final expenses. There is no medical exam, and you will have lifetime coverage. Your rates will never increase. Your benefits will never decrease, and your plan cannot be canceled. To receive free information about our senior plans and their benefits, call the number on your screen now. Also, receive information about a free prescription discount card by calling now. There is no obligation. Operators are standing by.
Call 800-859-7357.
People ask me all the time, George, what do I do with my idea for a new product? I tell them, Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been providing patent referrals, preparing ideas, and submitting to companies for more than 30 years.
I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
For your free inventor's information, call 1-800-560-0585. That's 1-800-560-0585.
The Golden Bears on top of the East Stroudsburg Warriors, and we are happy to have the sort of new athletic director, Josh Looney, with us. Took over last February, not even a year on the job. It's a pretty cool place.
It's gorgeous. A beautiful night in the fall in the Poconos. If it was a day game, you'd see the fall foliage and everything. It's a great place to be, and people here in Northeast Pennsylvania are just tremendous.
Now, I'm sure, Josh, when you got the job, you had a wish list of what you want to do. What's on the list, and how much have you gotten into that list already?
Well, I tell you, one of the wish lists is to have a head football coach like Denny Dowds. This guy is absolutely tremendous. The energy that he has, 51 years on the job here, is unbelievable. But yeah, we're moving mountains and going fast, and a lot of it's because of our president. Tremendous presidential leadership here in Marshall Welsh. And for any new athletic director, yeah, you want to have great coaches and a supporting cast, but you need a great supportive president. We have a tremendous president here in Dr. Marshall Welsh.
We're going to talk about Coach Dowds in a minute. It's been a pretty busy weekend for you guys. Homecoming and a lot of stuff going on today.
Well, it all started last night. We tipped off with Midnight Madness for our basketball teams. Then we went to a bonfire where Coach Dowds gave a speech to the student body. Had our Hall of Fame induction this morning. 4 athletic contests here today. Multiple donor events. It's been tremendous. And then we end homecoming with a game on ASN. It can't get any better than that.
So you're going to sleep pretty good tonight.
We're going to sleep pretty good. With a win, we'll sleep pretty good.
We had the opportunity of doing a game on the road for East Stroudsburg last year, and then we talked to Coach this week. He's an amazing person. He's one of a kind. I mean, he had great things to say about you being on the job, but what's it like to just be around a guy like that can do it so enthusiastically for so many years?
Well, that's it. He comes to work every day like it's first one on the job. Everybody around here loves him. He's a beloved coach within our department, within the community, and nationally. I actually was not able to meet him when I interviewed. They were out on the road recruiting in December, and so when I met him, it was in San Antonio at AFCA for the first time. Him and his staff and Coach Franklin and Penn State were there. We watched the national championship game together and just talked football. It's great to be around him and his staff, and Coach Dowds is a remarkable person.
Well, that's another thing. James Franklin, the Penn State football coach, is inducted into the Hall of Fame here tonight. So some pretty cool things all weekend.
Coach Franklin, he gives so much back to this university as he's escalated through his coaching ranks. He started sleeping on Coach Dowds' couch in his first coaching gig, and we were fortunate enough to have him inducted into the Hall of Fame's class of 2016 on their bye week, so he was here this morning. We didn't think he'd be able to make it to the game tonight. He was out recruiting. He made a surprise visit and came back then to the game tonight, and as you've seen, there's a lot of his teammates that didn't know he was going to be here that have been surprised, and he's been having a blast.
You know, that was real. We said that on the air. He was here this morning. He didn't have to come back. He went recruiting. That just speaks to the man. It speaks to his respect for Coach Dowds and his school.
Yeah, he went out of his way to come back. He left the state and was looking at recruits, came back and is here tonight to enjoy this homecoming atmosphere and support Coach Dowds and just a great homecoming and Hall of Fame weekend.
Well, everybody knows this school's in great shape with Coach Dowds. This school's in great shape with this man as the athletic director as well. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thanks, Nate.
All right, we'll be back after this.
It's on us, all of us, to make sexual assault unacceptable.
Here are a few tips that can help. Talk to your friends honestly and openly about sexual assault.
Don't be a bystander. If you see something, intervene in any way you can.
Be direct. Ask someone who looks like they may need help if they're okay.
It's on us! If you want to shed the fat and sculpt your core to get those sexy toned abs of your dreams, then stop doing sit-ups.
Say what?
And start dancing with Hip Hop Abs, the fun new ab sculpting system from Insanity creator Sean T.
I don't want you to ever get down on the floor to do clinches again. I'm going to break it down so you burn the fat and sculpt those abs fast.
Just do Sean's easy-to-follow moves to work your upper abs, middle abs, lower abs, and obliques, all while you're dancing.
I went from a size 18 to a size 2. I have abs now. I've got a six-pack.
And now the complete $80 Hip Hop Abs system is 75% off. That's right, Hip Hop Abs is only $19.95. We'll even upgrade you to express shipping free. Get the complete Hip Hop Abs system for only $19.95.
Call 1-800-635-5153 or order online at gethiphopabs.com. That's 1-800-635-5153. Call now.
When you have credit card debt, the debt suckers, high rate and high pay, never leave you alone.
Debt is really sucking the life out of them.
Yes, they look like death, warmed over.
He's picking up the phone, probably calling his uncle to borrow money.
Thank you for calling Consolidated Credit.
Oh, no, not Consolidated Credit.
With one call, they can lower their credit card rates.
And consolidate their bills into one low payment.
They'll pay off their debt in no time. Put down the phone.
Put down the phone. Order a pizza.
With extra red sauce. That Consolidated Credit makes it too quick and easy to get rid of us.
Thanks to Consolidated Credit, there can be life after death.
Call Consolidated Credit now and get your life back.
Because debt sucks.
Call 1-800-344-0072. 800-344-0072. That's 800-344-0072. Call now.
If your loved one received an IVC filter to prevent blood clots and later experienced complications, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. The FDA warns that IVC filters can move or fracture, causing serious injuries such as heart damage, lung damage, internal bleeding, and even death. Don't wait. Call right now.
Call 800-827-0024. That's 800-827-0024.
Built a 21-7 lead, scoring 21 unanswered points, and then things started to turn a little bit there. The ESU Warriors really needed their defense to come up, and boy, did they ever. Last 4 drives, the defense held Clement's offense in check and allowed the Warriors to put up 9 straight and get within 5.
Holding them is one thing, and then the offense did their thing, as you can see right there. Got on the board, got that man's football team back, and you know he was fired up at halftime because of the way they played the second half of that second quarter.
And if those East Stroudsburg drives went farther back, there would be a lot of the same. You know, the 4 3-play drives that end in a pick or a punt. They badly needed some consistency, and they got it on that 11-play drive that stalled out and led to the field goal. And then, interestingly, it was the backup quarterback, DeGiorgio, who tossed the late touchdown pass.
Touchdown pass. Back shoulder throw into the corner.
But it'll be DeGalbo and company that have the first offensive possession here in the second half. The redshirt freshman, who's 3-0 in his career as a starter, took over midway through the 4th game of this year with the team already in some bad shape and hasn't lost since.
Well, one thing, they go in the locker room. He's undefeated as a starter, and you know he's telling them that. If not, he's got the confidence to know that. And except for DeGiorgio's pass, Campbell's going to be the man here. You can see he's 50%, not a lot of yards.
A couple of bad interceptions.
Yeah, he made some bad decisions, especially that one he chucked into the end zone.
High and short, allowing the coverage team to get down there. Except they leave a seam here for Craig Reynolds, who then slips his way back to the middle of the field. We got a flag down. A flag down back at the 45. We'll check that. As it stands right now, it's a Reynolds return for a touchdown. So this one is likely coming back.
Starting return, holding number 53 on a returning team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
10 yards from the spot of the foul, so it takes him back probably to about the 36 and wipes off the Craig Reynolds return touchdown. See if we can see it.
Just as he makes the turn right there. I don't know about that, jeez. I guess he stopped him from actually getting to the ball carrier. He never really grabbed him. He kind of just got in his way. But they look for that thing on kickoffs, and they called it. Can't take it back. All right, the defense for the guys in the red shirts was really good at the end of that second quarter. They got to continue.
Kellen Williams has moved himself down to the bottom of your screen. And they've got a delay of game.
Delay of game, number 17, the offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's wild. You know, you talk about it the entire halftime, what we're going to run first. And East Stroudsburg might have thrown something at them they weren't expecting, which caused them to change the play. But we saw DeGalbo be exceptionally good early in this football game. See if he can get his offense going again.
Well, couldn't have started much worse here in the second half. You get a touchdown wiped off, and then don't even get a snap off. DeGalbo fakes it to Scott, gets through Johnson, and will pick up about 5.
Dylan Smith finally gets him. It's past 1, and then Dylan Smith, good pursuit to get him again.
Some of the overall first half numbers: 347 yards for these Golden Bears, a little bit more than 200 for East Stroudsburg. And as well as the Warriors defense played in the last stretch of that second quarter, it was the big plays that were the difference early on. Maurice Jackson, one of the safeties, very active, wraps the ball carrier at the line of scrimmage. Third down coming.
Well, you know that the Kutztown coaches are seeing this when the backers are jumping in there quick. When we saw DeGalbo with a really good ball fakes and run it before, we can do a little play action here and make those linebackers look foolish if he can throw it behind them. They're way up. They're loading up the box. Looks like they're coming.
4 out of 10 on third downs in the first half. They'll convert their first of the second half with Troy Parton. Parton now pushing up on 45 receptions on the year, by far the team leader in that category, but he only averages a couple yards a grab, 8 of them. That's what he does. He's their stretch guy, that screen on the outside.
And unusual with all those catches, he has no touchdown catches yet.
No, this man steals them all. Kellen Williams, who takes it on the jet sweep, slips out of an ankle tackle, and Williams has 6. Now he's still going, carrying people down close to the marker. It's going to be about 9.
Very compact, 6 foot 220 junior, runs really hard. This is like the play of the decade here, the jet sweep. It's almost like well, that time he hands it out. Sometimes they just flip it. But watch Williams just keeps on going. Everybody else thinks they tackled him. They didn't. He just keeps turning. Nice little spin move at the end.
Very quiet first half for Williams until that last drive. Now they bring him in motion this way. Same play, other way. And Williams has the first down. Chopped down by Jimmy Verzico, the leader of the secondary, the lone upperclassman in the secondary, the senior.
That's interesting. Last time Williams got it, he ran way wide. This time, same play the other way, and he cuts it back inside and kind of caught the pursuit. Over pursuing, I should say. Caught the defense over pursuing. Got a nice game the first time. 3 in a row? I don't think so.
No, I would doubt it.
He's tired.
Wouldn't stun me to see him throw the ball his way. Instead, it's Darryl Scott. And he's dragged down by Udbodade. Stakes of this game are very high for a mid-October game. The PSAC is an interesting Division II league. You've got the East and the West, and the 11th week, every East team has a West game scheduled, but there will actually be a change in the schedule, and there'll be a true champion. The East and the West champion will play each other in that last week.
The two opponents that should have played will play each other.
Right up the middle, Darryl Scott. Those jet sweeps set up that run, and he'll be short of the first down. But the stakes here, Kutztown out to a 1-game lead right now in the East, a game ahead of East Stroudsburg and 3 others.
It's a big and who they've beaten, too.
That's the important part. So if they win this game, everyone around the PSAC feels like Jim Clement's team is a virtual, not a guaranteed shoo-in to win that East. Scott has to rip it away from DeGalbo. Then the pile just stacks them up. They rally to the football, and eventually it's Chase May who'll record the stop.
We both said to each other, we watched tape individually, Chase May's all over the football field. He plays a bunch of different spots. He plays back where with Jimmy Verzico, but then he's all over the place as well. Makes a really good play on a good job initially by the defense, and he just cleans it up.
So here's a problem for East Stroudsburg. They're already down their leading tackler in Sekou Jones. Dakota Everett has been banged up off and on throughout the year, and he's the one who is slow to get up. A thinning linebacking core, but it's 4th down coming up here for Kutztown.
Are you tired of wrestling with your old-fashioned hose? Does it tangle and kink? Get the lightweight hose that won't tangle or kink, the amazing new Pocket Hose Top Brass. Just turn on the water and the hose grows and grows. Only Top Brass has the expandable inner rib cage engineered to give you superior strength. And Top Brass will never kink. Never. Even tied in a knot, it unties itself. And look at this. The Top Brass contracts when you're done. And Top Brass is a full 3/4-inch hose, guaranteed not to kink, leak, or tear, or your money back. Get your 25-foot Pocket Hose Top Brass today. It's just $19.99. Call now and you can get a second Pocket Hose Top Brass, plus our Mighty Blaster Fireman's Nozzle. Just pay a separate fee. Call now.
Call 1-800-575-2092 to get your special offer Pocket Hose Top Brass. Call now or go to pockethosetopbrass.com. So call 1-800-575-2092.
It's college football season, and your favorite teams are geared up and ready for game day. Get game ready, too. Tune in to the College Football Showcase all week long on the American Sports Network. Our team provides expert analysis and commentary on trending topics. Plus, hear from the players and coaches on upcoming matchups, keys to the game, and more. College Football Showcase, all week long on the American Sports Network.
This telecast is sponsored by the NCAA Division II President's Council. Welcome to NCAA Division II, where the pursuit of excellence is yours to create. In Division II, student athletes excel academically, athletically, and in the community for life after graduation. The opportunities are endless. Make it yours. A campaign slogan partially created by Josh Looney, now the athletic director here at East Stroudsburg.
He told me before we did the interview, he said, when I came to get the job, I had to finish the schedule first. So I got this game on the schedule, then I took the job. Nice little thing to add to your interview process.
Brendan Scott struggled kicking the ball in the first half. This time he will do so perfectly and will pin the Warriors inside of the 5 for their worst starting field position of the day. Punting's been an adventure all year. They had 4 punts blocked in the first 2 games. None since. But today, a couple of punts skipped the wrong way.
The kicking game has been an adventure
It
all year.
has. Which makes it even more impressive that the Golden Bears have rattled off 3 straight wins and sit atop this division. Worst starting field position of the day here for the Warriors. And it'll be DeGiorgio who begins the second half as the Warriors quarterback. Campbell, 50%, 7 completions and 2 picks in the first half. And the redshirt junior, Temple transfer, throws a late touchdown.
I'm trying to confuse them. They look like they were coming. Whether they do or not, we'll see.
Well, there's 1 second on the play clock. Gets it out of his hands quickly. A little bit of breathing room to Tommy House.
That's a really smart play. The blitz or the fake blitz, whether it was coming or not, was coming from his left. He knew he had the hot route to Tommy House on the right. Quick release. House runs the quick out. That's really good for a young man that has not played a lot.
Spent 3 years at Temple, only played in 1 game. This is now his first year with the Warriors.
With 13 pass attempts coming in. That's a really smart play last play.
Fullback Roth moves to the right side, and Healy is lit up. Look at how he slips through the first wave of defenders and almost gets the first down. In fact, they may even give it to him.
Slippery, elusive, 5'10", 190-pound red shirt senior. They gave it to him. He was dead in the backfield.
He never takes a big hit. That's about as hard as he will get hit. And he still spun right off it. Should have been 3rd down and 8. And they're going to measure this one.
Initially, they moved the chains. The chains are already moved, so they can't measure it.
You know, we had this earlier in the year, which stunned me when it happened.
They already moved the chains.
So how do you go back and measure? I agree, but 2 or 3 weeks ago, the same situation occurred. They moved the chains back, then measured it.
Yeah, how do you know where to put them?
I have no idea. Completely baffled me. They're not going to do the same thing here. They'll just move forward. First down
Coach
14.
Clements, I'm out there yelling about that one.
Here's Healy now. Waits for that hole to open, then jets to the outside. And the Golden Bears rally to him. Forward progress after the 18.
Exactly. They're going to give him forward progress. He must be crazy hard to tackle in practice.
Healy is approaching the all-purpose yardage record at East Stroudsburg. He came in needing 111 to become the all-time all-purpose yardage leader at East Stroudsburg with a mind-blowing 56.82.
That's nuts.
And he's pushing up on that number right now. DeGiorgio comes back the second way to Wilson, and he just barely missed him.
We had a clean pocket because Robert Healy did a great job of picking up the blitz. I saw the back shoulder throw that he threw for a touchdown. Watch the left side of your picture. He picks up the blitz just a yard and a half, maybe too far, as Tim Wilson just ran a go route down the left sideline. It was a one-person route. That was it.
Well, that's their big play threat.
Max protect, go for the big one.
3rd down and 7. They fake it to Healy, and the defense bit on it. DeGiorgio dives for the sticks and picks up the first down.
They faked Healy, and I think he was looking for Tim Wilson, but he was not open, or that man didn't think he was open. Watch number 80 come into your picture. He's right there. Yeah, he wasn't open over the middle. He just turns and goes.
5 yards past the line of scrimmage, Cox Cowan and Kenny Williams still went with Healy, who was 7-8 yards away from the football.
A lot of guys don't realize where the line of scrimmage is. When you fake it past 6 yards past it, people still go up in the air. It's just instinct.
Pressure comes on DeGiorgio, and Wilson makes the catch and pays the price. Cox Cowan right there with him, true freshman out of Harrisburg.
Giorgio has a little slower release than Campbell does, but he's got a little stronger arm than Campbell does from what I've seen. Watch this, takes a little longer to get rid of it, but all the way he's going that way. Throws it a little bit before the break. Tim Wilson catches it and then pays the price and gets nailed as he goes out of bounds.
Cox Cowan has had a very adventurous day. A couple of PIs and also deflected a ball that led to an interception. This time Healy will be tackled at the line of scrimmage. It'll set up another 3rd down.
They've done 2 different things when this happened. 3rd and short. They've kept Roth back there as a blocker and obviously given it to Healy, or they've completely spread out the defense and left an empty backfield for Bruce Campbell. Of course, now it's DeGiorgio in there.
A lot of protection here around DeGiorgio. Again, gets it out of his hands quickly, and he leads his intended target a little bit too much. That was Buffalo, freshman out of Philadelphia.
Yeah, Javer Buffalo just a little, probably should have caught it. Probably will catch it for the next 3 years, but the freshman couldn't haul that one in.
A couple of near misses on this drive. There to Buffalo and earlier to Wilson.
Hits him in both hands. Had to stretch out for it, but those are the ones you practice every day. Tough when you have to have it to convert.
This one wobbles its way back to Reynolds, and the Golden Bears will start from the 31. High-scoring first half. It's been a defensive struggle here halfway through the third quarter. Big one here in the Eastern Division of the PSAC.
I'm a 3-time legacy. Everyone in my family loves KU. But going into this, I wasn't sure if I just wanted to follow in their footsteps. But then I took the tour, and oh my gosh, the campus was awesome. Everyone was so much more helpful and friendly than the other places I had visited. The facilities were great. I knew instantly it was my choice, my first choice.
Choose Kutztown University.
Attention, attention. Did you or a loved one have an IVC filter implanted to prevent blood clots from reaching the heart or lungs? You may be entitled to compensation. In a recent FDA warning letter, the manufacturer of the Bard Inferior Vena Cava IVC filter and its retrieval system was warned for failing to notify the FDA of life-threatening device malfunctions. Since 2005, over 1,000 adverse events associated with IVC filters have been reported to the FDA, including IVC filter fractures, tearing, device movement, blockage, breaking of device components, and becoming irretrievable. Call the number on your screen now or visit badivc.com to protect your legal rights. Wright & Schulte is a national law firm with the experience, resources, and staff to fight for your rights and compensation for your injuries. If you or a loved one had any brand of IVC filter implanted, call the number on your screen now or visit badivc.com now. Time may be limited.
People ask me all the time, George, what do I do with my idea for a new product? I tell them, call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been providing patent referrals, preparing ideas, and submitting to companies for more than 30 years.
I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
For your free inventor's information, call 1-800-560-0585. That's 1-800-560-0585.
Typically, the series between Kutztown and East Stroudsburg is high scoring. Last 6 games have averaged 73 points on the scoreboard. And the way the first half went, we were heading directly into those headlights. But a possession each here in the third quarter. Defense has won the second half so far.
Defense has adjusted to the first half offenses. Now we'll see if the offense can readjust.
One of the keys for the Warriors, they haven't let Craig Reynolds get loose since that first quarter. That pass is well behind Hollander.
That was a little risky. That was man coverage. They sent everybody. No safety over the top. He threw it a touch quicker. They just couldn't find his receiver, Hollander. That's taking some guts because you got no help over the top safety-wise.
Now DeGalbo looks at Kellen Williams only and hits Williams for the first down. 5th grab of the night for him, out to 52 yards now.
Center backer from the quarterback's right. He throws it to his left because he saw him coming. Smart pre-snap read, better execution.
In terms of active players at the Division II level, Kellen Williams is top 10 in touchdown receptions, yards, and overall receptions. He's had a couple of those carries too. Again, it's a decoy though for the Reynolds up the middle. And he is stopped by Chase May.
Chase May once again fills from deep in that safety position. He and Verzico are the 2 safeties. They kind of flip sides, but normally they're far away from the football. But boy, he fills in a hurry. Comes again.
Stroudsburg hasn't been bringing a whole lot of pressure here. That's been one of the differences. Mike Wyan fills that hole. The Penn State transfer records the stop, and it'll be 3rd down and 5.
Wyan got him, and Chase May from the outside helped him out. He'll get a half of that one. May just plays everywhere.
He has to. This defense has started 23 different people. It's a youthful defense. Injuries have hit it. DeGalbo throws it behind his man, but he'll pick up the first down. What a job by Parton to adjust to the ball in front of May and get exactly what he needs to move the chains.
Well, when you want the wideout against May, the safety who starts so far back and then has to come up in coverage, he makes a play, but too little, too late.
They're 6 out of 13 on third downs tonight.
I really don't know.
Very fast moving third quarter here. Waits for the hole to open, then Reynolds bursts through it before Maurice Jackson levels him with the right shoulder. 16 more for Reynolds.
Well, Reynolds is getting them in bunches tonight. We showed it a touchdown earlier, but he had one of over 40 yards to run. Look at this hole up front. Look at the patience till the hole is there. Explodes through, and then you're supposed to deliver the blow. He received the blow that time.
First big run for Reynolds since his touchdown run. Here's Parton now. Blocking wasn't there. Andre Gray never had a helmet on him. Trips him up after 3.
No matter how this game turns out, Coach Clemens has to sleep a little better every night, knowing he's got a red shirt and freshman who's going to be the quarterback of the future for this team. And he found him in game 4, and man, is he good.
He said he was really third on the depth chart when his starter went down. Scanlon, Brennan Scott started the third game, and then DeGalbo took over. Reynolds skips that 0-1 tackle and only gets back to the line of scrimmage. He just has that it factor, though. Clemens said he's going to take some chances, but the results...
Injury timeout.
The results tend to come, and certainly have since he's been the starter.
And the best part of everything is their sports information.
Media, timeout.
The best questions, Brian Salvador. And I like Kevin Colin DeGalbo a little more. Sheets or Wawa? He's a Wawa man. Later.
Nope, it's lemonade.
Is that iced tea?
Lemonade.
Iced tea?
What's with these people, man? Lemonade. Read the sign. Lemonade. Read it.
Okay.
Delicious. Iced tea at a lemonade stand? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Marin saved by switching to Geico.
No iced tea. It's lemonade, man.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
You can't make every day your game day, but you can act like you do. In just 30 minutes, College Football Extra gives you all you need to know from this week's most exciting games.
We'll have post-game analysis, insider news, recaps, and highlights from across the nation.
Know the score. Tune in to College Football Extra, Sundays beginning at 1 p.m. on the American Sports Network.
If you are age 85 or younger,
call 800-859-7357.
To learn more about our senior plans from Angel Care Insurance Services. The average funeral now costs over $7,000, but the most government benefits will pay your family is only $255, leaving your loved ones to pay your debt. Our senior plans will pay up to $30,000 for funeral and other final expenses. There is no medical exam, and you will have lifetime coverage. Your rates will never increase. Your benefits will never decrease, and your plan cannot be canceled. To receive free information about our senior plans and their benefits, call the number on your screen now. Also, receive information about a free prescription discount card by calling now. There is no obligation. Operators are standing by.
Call 800-859-7357.
See if you can see what happens to Maurice Jackson. Keep an eye on the middle of your screen. That's him, 36.
Looks like his left leg just got banged or twisted or something. It was weird the way he hit right after the contact.
Obviously checking on the left side. Another third down try. They like that motion here in this second half. Reynolds takes it off his back hip, and this one's going to be close. Going to have to wait for the spot. He needs about the 19 and a half.
It's right about where they're putting it.
Pretty close.
You know, if I'm coach over there, I'm screaming for a measurement. That's exactly what he's doing, too.
Meanwhile, the best lineman in the league, Jordan Morgan, limps to his feet and barely takes his position on the side of the line.
Now we can measure because they didn't move the chains yet. He's taking his time getting up. He's getting up. Coach thinks it was a bad spot, of course.
Timeout for measurement.
Now they'll go for it if they're short. This is a team that has not attempted a field goal all year, and certainly wouldn't expect them to now, needing a couple of inches if they're short.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if they are short, they're short by less than the length of the football. You can see at the bottom of your picture, the East Stroudsburg defense is getting all the instruction they need, whether he makes it or not. About the length of the football.
Well, that's about a yard short. So they'll go for it. It's, as Jim Clemens joked with us this week, you know, they go for it as many times as an option team does. Those teams typically have fourth down and a yard, so they go for it a lot. They've already converted a fourth down today. They've gone for a couple of them, more than 20 attempts on the year, and they're over 30% on.
Coach Chad Brain for ESU tried to dial up the stop. We'll see what happens.
It's Reynolds right up the middle, then he juts to the outside for the first down in the arms of Andre Gray.
Freshman comes up to make the play, but he almost had the first down before Gray got to him. As he needed about a yard here. Andre Gray, the freshman, will come up, and his momentum's going forward. He could have leaned into that one.
139 yards for Craig Reynolds, who averages 107, and he had that in the first quarter. Here's Reynolds now. Look at that seam open up. Larry Mills prevents the touchdown, but didn't take him all the way down. It's Reynolds' second score of the day.
It looked like he was going to the ground, but he never touched. He might have fallen on another player, but it looked like he was down at the line. Watch this hole open up. It's nothing
Injury
there.
Timeout.
Right. He landed on the defender and never touched the ground.
Larry Mills wrapped him. He sits on his helmet and bounces off. You'll get a better look here.
Play's supposed to go outside with Ciela pushing. He takes it inside, and watch this. He's down, but he's not. He's on top of the defender. That's a heads-up play by that young man to keep going.
And at that point, Versicko has lost.
Yeah, he thought he was tackled, and then it's too late to get his momentum to make a tackle.
Exactly. And Larry Mills is now still down. So a lot of moving parts in this one. Number one, the linebacking core continues to thin out. Mills is starting for Sekou Jones, out with the injury. We've already seen Dakota Everett needing to get helped off.
It's Wendy Dietrich and her training staff out there checking him out. Athletic training staff. Always good when he gets up and comes off on his own power. You gotta love that.
Oof. Yeah, but it wasn't on his own power that he got to his feet right there.
It's bothering him, but a lot of times you look at his facial expressions. He's hurting a little bit. The more he walks, the more it's getting loose. He's gonna live with ice tonight. Yeah, that's not a good sign there.
So we'll keep close tabs on the linebackers for East Stroudsburg as this game moves along. They had done such a fine job of limiting Reynolds since that first quarter, but he busts off a couple of big ones on this drive. He's over 150 now for the game.
Did a great job there because Matt Seller, the left guard, pulled to open a hole, and he thought the hole was closer inside. Craig Reynolds right there, and he cut it back inside, and he saw a great point of attack and got there, and then the smart play to land on the defender and just keep going.
So 11 plays, 68 yards, and they will go for 2. Williams went in motion. It opened up the entire left side, and James Waugh brings in the 2-point conversion. The lead is 13 with 2:45 to play in the third.
Everybody goes across. Nobody goes out with him until it's too late. Easy conversion.
Let's look at this again.
Watch 71 lead the whole Sella. And see, Sella's coming across, but it's not there. And then he just cuts it up inside. Then he falls on the defender, but never touches the ground. Great job by the officials to see this. Nothing touches the ground, but his offhand, which is his right hand, keeps his balance. You do that drill every day in practice. And then it's too late for Verzico to make a tackle. He forgot about him, thought he was down.
And guys, if you want to roll that one more time at the end, you can see what happens to Larry Mills at the very end of that play as he bounces off the helmet. Reynolds stepped on the ankle inadvertently of Larry Mills, that left leg that he was clearly favoring.
Here it is again.
Watch the end.
As he spins around, that's Mills on the ground under him.
Yep, he'll sit on the helmet here. Watch where this first foot comes down right here.
There's his bounce, and there it is. He steps right on his ankle.
There.
Yep. You do those drills every day where you put your hand down for balance. That just got them a touchdown.
Wow, Fells is drilled.
Whoa.
Flying down Shenef Sutton.
As a kickoff man, you live for plays like this. Watch Sutton. He thinks he's got a little gap, a little seam, and Sutton makes the play. That'll fire up your defense.
So you get the touchdown with the effort from Reynolds. Then all of a sudden the special teams play. And you're sitting on a 13-point lead now. You got a little bit of a cushion. Still DeGiorgio under center, and it'll be Healy who dives his way behind center. Well, Fran McMenamin is a senior right tackle on this line. And you can't tell it by looking right into his eyes there. Nate, he's 27. He served 2 tours in Afghanistan and then has found a home here at East Stroudsburg. He really is one of the more unique stories in college football.
Started at Widener, had trouble paying for his textbooks, and decided to go into the Marine Corps. 2 tours of Afghanistan, as you said. He had a tough choice to make. He was going to re-enlist. And he decided to follow his dreams and play football. His younger brother had just enrolled right here at East Stroudsburg. He comes to school here. And Coach Dowds, who has a son who's a Marine Corps fighter pilot, knows where the Marines come from. I love the way Coach described him to us. He said he's the kind of guy that shaves 5-6 days a week. The GI Bill's paying for his education now. He's graduating in December. He wants to coach.
Said, of course, he can be a coach. Said the drive that he's got, the experience that he has, both on and off the field.
I'm sure he met Coach Franklin today.
Pressure
Might
on
have
him.
a graduate assistantship open.
Never know.
And other schools will. It's a great story. And besides the fact that he's on the football team, he's a really good offensive lineman. 26 career starts.
Big spot in the game here as we talk about McMenamin. You got a 4th down and a yard with less than 2 minutes to go in the 3rd, and the punt team isn't ready. They're just now getting their helmets on and coming close to the field of play, and will now come onto the field.
On top of everything else, Coach told us he's in the SAC, the Student Athletic Council, representing his school in the NCAA. So the kid does it on and off the field.
Better hustle.
Kid,
3
27.
seconds. 1 second, they'll get it off. Warriors make a late decision to punt. Reynolds will make the fair catch at the 32 with all of the momentum now having swung back towards the road team and the Golden Bears.
That's pretty good. A lot of times when you make that late decision, everybody's running on the field. All kinds of mishaps happen. Bad snap, bad blocking, but they didn't. They got away with it. They practiced that too, just running on at the last second. And you're right, they snapped it with about 1 second. Now, defense has to step it up again because the Golden Bears went right down the field last time behind the running of Craig Reynolds as they've done all day, all night. That's a good day.
That's okay. He had 180 yards all of last year. This year he's averaging 107. Right now he's in line to become one of just 8 running backs in Kutztown history to average 100 yards a game. Here he runs into Chase May and maybe picks up a yard. If you're just joining us, the Warriors scored first, then surrendered 21 straight as DeGalbo and company got hot. 2 quick scoring drives, a 4-play and a 2-play drive. Led at 21-7. And then 9 straight for the Warriors to close the half. Got them within 5. Kutztown now looking to build on more of its cushion as Andre Gray puts a helmet right into Troy Parton, who has brought in his 11th reception of the day.
Underneath the zone, DeGalbo looks one way, comes back the other way. Andre Gray and company bring down 4 guys to bring him down. That puts him just under 200 yards passing, a $198. 20 for 31. That's a pretty good evening.
He's also rushed for 51 and a touchdown on 4 carries.
It's not a bad average.
No, here he goes again. On 3rd and short, they stack him up. That hole closed immediately as Renato slid to his right, but a hair too late. They'll give him the first down.
It's a former offensive lineman, Mark Renato. Being the middle of a 3-man front, that's a lot of responsibility. You got to control both A-gaps, make all kinds of plays, deal with double teams as well.
Thought they moved those chains pretty quickly and gave him a great spot. It'll be the last play of the 3rd quarter with the Golden Bears marching again.
Timeout.
Big news from Beverly Hills. Celebrity plastic surgeon Dr. Andrew Orden has discovered an anti-aging breakthrough called Fill and Freeze. And he's giving away 1 million bottles free.
Wow, I'm young again. I don't feel like an old lady. The lines are gone.
It definitely took 10 years off. If I went to a dermatologist here in the city, I would pay $400 for this.
I've spent nearly 30 years looking for an effective, instant breakthrough to reduce the appearance of wrinkles, and I finally found it with Derm Exclusives Fill and Freeze.
This instant wrinkle-removing miracle sells for $60, but get yours now for only $39.95, and will include a second tube free. Dr. Orden will even include these 3 anti-aging bonus treatments, a $200 value free. But you must call to order.
Call 1-800-745-1696. That's 1-800-745-1696. Order now.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help.
And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 800-683-1116, 800-683-1116.
These young ladies have had a very busy day and a busy weekend. Homecoming, 4 games on this field today, believe it or not. Yep. Field hockey and then 2 soccer games and now this football game. And the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. 88 rushing yards for East Stroudsburg. They average over 200 of them. The yards per play, a huge stat right there.
Well, the 260 for Kutztown. Reynolds has 156 rushing.
As a team, outgaining East Stroudsburg 458 to 240. And they're on the move, trying to build on a 13-point lead as we begin the 4th, with Reynolds changing direction out to the left and getting pushed down from the backside. He still stumbles his way for about 7.5.
The stable's pretty good, led by that man right there. They call their three running backs call themselves. Scott, James Waugh, and number 13 who's having a heck of a night, Craig Reynolds.
Linebacking core now has Brownlee in there after the injury to Mills on the last possession. First down reception on the screen right there to Reynolds. Talking about Marquise Brownlee, there he is. Redshirt sophomore with his 20th stop of the year.
Well, this is going to go down as passing yards, but this is run after the catch yards right there. Nice cut, avoids the first tackle and gets nailed from the inside. Good pursuit, but another first down.
Like DeGalbo still had his hands in the warmer there as that snap gets to him, and he gives it off to Reynolds, who finds space down the sideline and walks his way into the end zone. Wow. 43 more for Reynolds and his third touchdown of the day.
He makes one great cut after he gets to the edge. Great job by our guys. We got him ISO'd. Watch this. There's the great hold he's had all night. Little stutter step and then turns it outside and just turns the Jets on, and they cannot catch him. 43 yards.
He taunts him a little bit on his way in, slowing down and looking at Chase May. A career day tonight for Craig Reynolds. And there's your missed extra point. They've now missed one in every game this year. But that'll be a distant memory for the night that Craig Reynolds is putting together. A measly 207 yards on 16 carries. 3 touchdowns. This one from 43 yards.
This is a special health alert for seniors suffering with joint pain. If you have Medicare insurance, you may qualify for high-quality support braces at little or no cost.
I'm thrilled with my knee braces.
Now, there is a simple and proven solution for seniors to get out of pain with state-of-the-art support braces.
I barely feel any pain at all.
Braces for your knees and back, as well as your shoulders and ankles, too.
I'm so happy with the quality of these braces.
Call now, and you could qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost.
I can play ball again, and it doesn't hurt.
And because of my Medicare coverage, it costs me next to nothing.
So call now.
And because I have this red, white, and blue Medicare card, my braces have cost me just about nothing.
It's true. You may get a knee, back, shoulder, and ankle brace at little or no cost.
They qualified me for 2 knee braces and a back brace.
If you have knee or back pain, give them a call. They can help.
1-800-959-3216. 1-800-959-3216.
Hey, Courtney Hansen here with you for Endurance. If you're like me, you love your car, but even the best vehicles break down at some point. And when your car's warranty expires, you're gonna have to pay those repairs out of pocket. Can you believe what it costs to repair your car these days? I mean, look at these prices. I can think of so many things I would rather buy than a new fuel injector or transmission. Well, Endurance has a solution. With an Endurance Vehicle Protection Plan, we pay for your auto repairs. The parts, the labor, all of it's covered. With Endurance, you'll save thousands, and you get to choose the mechanic who repairs your car. Remember, insurance only covers you if you're in an accident, but that's just half the equation. Endurance is the other half, protecting you when your car breaks down. Insurance plus endurance equals total protection. That's my kind of math.
Protect yourself against the high cost of auto repairs with Endurance. Call right now for a free quote.
35-16, the Golden Bears lead the Warriors as we welcome you back to Eiler Martin Stadium. Next week, we are heading to the opposite end of the country, the Pacific Northwest, the Division II National Showcase, to the home of the Wolves of Western Oregon, as Humboldt State pays a visit. 3:30 Eastern time. You can check your local listings for the Division II National Showcase.
Left coast. We're going left coast.
Yeah, and our thoughts are with them right now. There's
bad weather,
somewhat of an unprecedented windstorm heading their way right now. Scary, actually. It's the remnants of a typhoon. spinning off 100-mile-an-hour wind gusts as it just barrels towards that area. Rem, the freshman, backpedals his way to the 28.
Special teams get their opportunities, and when you get them, make a big play. Kutztown's done this a couple times tonight and really set up their defense by just pummeling people on kickoffs, and they've had a lot of kickoffs because they've scored a lot.
Clearly the Warriors have changed their philosophy here. They're going with DeGiorgio. Nothing appears to be wrong with Campbell. Every series has been DeGiorgio, but the key for the Warriors, if they want to get back in this game, they need to get Healy going. His numbers are surprisingly low. He's the decoy here, and the first sack of the game is recorded by this Kutztown defense as Dean Gregory records his second of the season.
Yeah, Gregory got him because DeGiorgio, after he faked the ball to Healy, had him out in the flat. He just didn't have an opportunity to throw it. Here's the fake, and he's going to come right to the bottom of your picture, and he's open. But you just can't throw the ball when somebody's about to tackle you.
26th sack for this defense. They are 5th at the Division II level with more than 4 a game. But that's one thing they really haven't done today until now. Why not? Why don't you just give them another one? Tomasetti crashes in from one end, back to back now. Well, you're not going to get Robert Healy going this way.
No, Tomasetti just blows right through the right side of the line. You can see the tackle, Meneman, who we just talked about, just whiffed on him. And now the D linemen are just coming back, coming after you.
Yeah, they only rushed 3. DeGiorgio pulls it down, gets it to Healy. Will fall down after a pickup of 10. So including that reception, Healy has 86 yards from scrimmage tonight. He has been over 100 in 33 of his 39 career games, and he averages more than 200 a game this year. So you want a key to victory right now for Kutztown. It's 2 running backs. It's the success of Craig Reynolds and the Golden Bears defense offering Healy no success.
And if you're Ross Pennypacker, the defensive coordinator for Kutztown, what am I going to take away?
I'll start.
You can say you're going to take away Healy, but doing it's a different
5-yard penalty.
They have done it
down.
this evening. They haven't taken him away. They've made him less effective, as you said. Normally 200.
Started with taking him away in the rushing game. It's an outstanding rushing defense, one of the top 25 at the Division II level. So they took him away there. It became a one-dimensional offense and becomes even more so as the lead begins to grow.
And that's what you want to do, is make a team predictable if you're playing defense.
O'Brien's going to get this roll. Down to the 31. A little bit of a skirmish well behind the play, which is separated quickly. 3 possessions in this second half for the Warriors. All have resulted in punts. And the Golden Bears firmly in control with 11.5 to play.
Media timeout.
We'll get you back for the latest chapter in this Colin DeGalbo undefeated story.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
If you are age 85 or younger,
call 800-859-7357.
To learn more about our senior plans from Angel Care Insurance Services. The average funeral now costs over $7,000, but the most government benefits will pay your family is only $255, leaving your loved ones to pay your debt. Our senior plans will pay up to $30,000 for funeral and other final expenses. There is no medical exam, and you will have lifetime coverage. Your rates will never increase, your benefits will never decrease, and your plan cannot be canceled. To receive free information about our senior plans and their benefits, call the number on your screen now. Also, receive information about a free prescription discount card by calling now. There is no obligation. Operators are standing by.
Call 800-859-7357.
Attention blood thinner users. Thousands of blood thinner users may have been exposed to serious risk by these dangerous medications. If your loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. If we don't win, there is no fee. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 800-858-4026. That's 800-858-4026.
He's got 3 over 40.
Well, the stable apparently travels. You talk about defense traveling when you go on the road. Well, apparently this running back stable travels. And the youngest of the trio, lucky number 13, what a day, averaging 13 yards a carry, 3 rushes into the end zone, 2 of them over 40 yards. There's a 43-yarder and a 51-yarder. Yeah, career day.
He hits the hole with great timing, and then he's got a burst once he gets through there.
DeGalbo sets up the screen to him. So it's been the total yardage show for Craig Reynolds, not for Robert Healy. Kutztown looking for its 4th consecutive victory after starting the season 0-3. The common thread in those 4 victories is number 17, the redshirt freshman quarterback Colin DeGalbo, who was not the first choice to replace Terrence Scanlon when he went down. That went to Brendan Scott. But in game 4, DeGalbo got the nod, and the Golden Bears have suddenly become one of the scariest teams in the PSAC East Division.
These two teams, this is a big rivalry. They don't like each other. And then sometimes you don't have to say anything, you just make a gesture, like check the score.
2 young guys, but that's a old school move. DeGalbo has the pocket breakdown and wisely slides for the first down out to the 43.
Talked about the last 3 before this one and how DeGalbo has just taken over, and obviously they've won all 3. The first 2 weeks of the season he did not play. They averaged passing offense 185 yards a game. He comes in and throws for close to 250 for 3 in a row. And then tonight, he's got a little over 200 with a quarter to go. So he has been a difference maker, and if they can do that and that to go with it,
it's just too easy.
Wow.
Just shakes him off his shoulder pads, gets to that sideline again, and he's out of bounds.
You get DeGalbo throwing like he's throwing it. You get Craig Reynolds doing almost as much as he's done tonight the rest of the season. There's a tough out. There's
a flag down, too, about at the 15, maybe the 12. They announced it quickly. It looks like it's a hold at the 12. It is, because it's backed up to the 22.
That will negate one of the great runs he's had tonight. Talked about the burst through the hole. There, he breaks one tackle, and then he's tough to catch if you don't have a great angle. Look at him change speeds and then turn on the jets against Verzico.
He's making a habit as he gets to that same sideline of slowing down a little bit and looking back. He did it on his last touchdown run. He did it a bit there.
I'm laughing. He's looking back for DeGalbo to come down and make another great block like he did earlier in the game.
254 yards for Reynolds.
That's good for a team. That's one guy on the team.
That's well more than the team average. As a team, they're out to 371 on the ground. It's a recipe for success. Here's DeGalbo. He's had a nice hand in it. Oh! He trucks Verzico. It'll be 1st and goal.
Oh, my goodness. 225 pounds. He's a redshirt freshman, folks. Great fake. Got the lineman to jump, and now nice move there. And watch what he does to the safety. Oh, my goodness. Talk about delivering the blow. And he helps him up. I like that.
May as well. He just flattened it. Officially, he's listed at 225 to Galbo. Verzico is 175.
He looks bigger than 2 1/4 too.
That's a 50-pound difference. Another touchdown there for the Golden Bears. On the ground, this one is James Watt Jr. First touchdown of the year. Well, this offensive line is going to eat well tonight, aren't they? Paved the way for almost 400 yards on the ground. And every touchdown, with the exception of one, has been on the ground.
Well, we've talked about Reynolds and what he's done, but you're right. Jordan Morgan, the All-American on the left side, the freshman Matt Sella, Ben Kreger in the middle, Brian Robbins on the right, and Skylar Pancheri on the right tackle have done a great job.
And even Brandon Keffer is back and true. A lot of it's been Craig Reynolds with the big runs, but how about the big power of the big freshman? Jimmy Verzico. Why don't you meet Colin DeGalbo?
If you want to shed the fat and sculpt your core to get those sexy toned abs of your dreams, then stop doing sit-ups. Say what? And start dancing with Hip Hop Abs, the fun new ab sculpting system from Insanity creator Sean T.
I don't want you to ever get down on the floor to do crunches again. I'm gonna break it down so you burn the fat and sculpt those abs fast.
Just do Sean's easy to follow moves to work your upper abs, middle abs, lower abs, and obliques, all while you're dancing.
I went from a size 18 to a size 2. I have abs now. I've got a 6-pack.
And now the complete $80 Hip Hop Abs system is 75% off. That's right, Hip Hop Abs is only $19.95. We'll even upgrade you to express shipping free. Get the complete Hip Hop Abs system for only $19.95.
Call 1-800-635-5153 or order online at gethiphopabs.com. That's 1-800-635-5153. Call now.
When you have credit card debt, the debt suckers, high rate and high pay, never leave you alone.
Debt is really sucking the life out of them.
Yes, they look like death, warmed over.
He's picking up the phone, probably calling his uncle to borrow money.
Thank you for calling Consolidated Credit.
Oh, no, not Consolidated Credit.
With one call, they can lower their credit card rates.
And consolidate their bills into one low payment.
They'll pay off their debt in no time. Put down the phone.
Put down the phone. Order a pizza.
With extra red sauce. That Consolidated Credit makes it too quick and easy to get rid of us.
Thanks to Consolidated Credit, there can be life after debt.
Call Consolidated Credit now and get your life back.
Because debt sucks.
Call 1-800-344-0072. 800-344-0072. That's 800-344-0072. Call now.
A luxury for a third-year head coach in Jim Clements is to have that stable that he calls it, led by the running backs coach Quarterman. Tale of two backs. Robert Healy, who came into the day the all-purpose yardage leader at the Division II level, over 200 yards a game. But it's Craig Reynolds, who is 5 rushing yards away from a Kutztown record, who has stolen the show tonight.
Well, you come into this game thinking I got to stop Colin DeGalbo if I am East Stroudsburg, and then Reynolds has a 5 more yards away from a career day. And on the other side, you think you got to come in and try to stop Robert Healy, and they have made him very predictable and way under his average per game.
Almost invisible.
Yep. The defense for Kutztown has been really good.
Should point this out. The guys in the truck are working very hard tonight, doing a great job. Led by the leader of our stable. What's his name?
John
Claybrook. That's for John back there. Jordan Hurst doing a great job. Alex Bocard as well.
The officials have not let this game get out of control yet, and they got to stay on top of it because it's getting a little chippy.
It can get that way.
Oh yeah, 2 schools not that far apart, and it's a one-sided game now.
And it's a big game. You know, you're talking about a Golden Bears team that is really now 2 steps away from securing a spot in the division championship game. And Denny Dowd's team that came in with high hopes. Hey, if they can get by Kutztown, then it would be them that has that inside track. Healy shakes one. What a cutback there. Here goes Healy out to midfield. Robert Healy now only about 15 yards, maybe a little bit less than that, away from the all-time record for the Warriors, all-purpose yards in a career.
Talked about the Kutztown defense. Remember, this young man is #1 in TDs in the NCAA Division II, #2 in rush yards per game at $1.50 a game. He's a special running back, and he just showed you right there. What a catch.
And a leap. Buffalo. That was quick. 2 plays and a badly needed touchdown for the Warriors. Saying, don't forget about us yet.
Javer Buffalo, the freshman, makes a heck of a catch and then runs a steeplechase here. Watch this. Nice throw from DeGiorgio. He catches it, then he leaps over to the defender to try to throw a leg up to trip him, which would have been a penalty if he did. But boom, boom, 2 plays, touchdown, East Stroudsburg.
And the extra point makes it a 19-point game. Well, if this Warriors defense can figure out a way to slow down Kutztown on the ground, it would give him a chance to get back in this thing. Backup quarterback DeGiorgio took over late in the first half, has 2 touchdowns now on the day. This, the first of the night for Buffalo.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Tired of being skinny or scrawny? There are thousands of products designed to help you lose weight, but what if you need to gain weight? Then the CB1 Weight Gainer program is your answer. CB1 Weight Gainer's natural formula of herbs, vitamins, and minerals is for people who suffer a weak appetite or fast metabolism.
I took them for 2 months. I was hungry all the time. I went from 160 to 187.
CB1 really works. In 2 months, I gained 26 pounds.
And every time I stepped on the scale, I saw the weight go up a little bit. With CB1, I gained 30 pounds in 6 months.
CB1 Weight Gainer is a safe and natural weight gain program made in the USA. And we're so confident you'll love CB1. We back it with a 30-day total satisfaction guarantee. Order now and we'll include our 24-page weight gain guidebook, a $19.99 value, absolutely free. But that's not all. We'll also upgrade your order with rush processing, a $6.99 value. Absolutely free. That's right. Save over $25 when you place your order of CB1 now.
People ask me all the time, George, what do I do with my idea for a new product? I tell them, call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been providing patent referrals, preparing ideas, and submitting to companies for more than 30 years.
I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
For your free inventor's information, call 1-800-560-0585. That's 1-800-560-0585.
Record chasing. That's what tonight has turned into. Welcome back to East Stroudsburg. 5 yards from our school rushing record is Craig Reynolds as Kutztown gets set to get the ball back. Although it wouldn't stun me to see Stroudsburg try an onside kick here. Meanwhile, Robert Healy is now 3 yards away from setting the all-time all-purpose yards mark for East Stroudsburg. A lot of connections to that mark still in this stadium. We'll get to that when the Warriors have the ball back.
There it is.
They're going to try it. And another big hit. That ball come loose. Now he secured it. Decent hands there from Hubley.
Yeah, they kick another 2 yards. It goes over Hubley's head, and maybe they got a chance at it. But Hubley caught the ball, and Hubley caught a headache. Watch this. Everybody in a red shirt knows it's going to be a short kick. He does a good job protecting the ball. Didn't do a great job protecting himself, and he got nailed.
There's no way to protect himself.
Looked like Verzico. I think it was Verzico to hit him.
42-23.
Might have been 32 Justin Johnson that popped him. 32 or 35, I couldn't tell.
A lot of PSAC implications here, particularly in the East Division. Kutztown looking for their 4th consecutive victory. And a lot of it has been on the ground today. Craig Reynolds, who tries to go down right there after getting the 5 yards. Something tells me he had an idea that he was 5 away from a school record, which he just got with a 6.5-yard run. That'll put him at 260 on the night.
And they're taking him out, and they should.
Yeah, he knew exactly what he needed. Got those 5, went down to a knee. 19 for 261 tonight.
Wow.
My, oh my.
He did the work, but the guys up front opened the holes, and he blew through them very quickly. Great job by this offense. And 4th start for DeGalbo.
Yeah, the headline will read DeGalbo now 4-0, but it's the stable. Wah's 2nd touchdown in as many drives. James Wah Jr. loves playing against East Stroudsburg. 2 touchdowns against him 2 years ago, 2 touchdowns against him last year, and 2 touchdowns against them tonight.
560, 170. We talked about what Craig Reynolds did, but that line opened it up for Wah. Watch this. He's loosening up before the snap.
And we're right on the number. Last 6 times these teams have met, they've averaged about 73 points a game.
Just zone blocking up front. He looks like there's no hole. He kind of gets lost in that backfield, and he's gone. No way that Andre Gray or anybody's going to catch him from behind.
42 carries for Kutztown. 434 yards. When you're getting 10 yards a clip on the ground, you will win virtually every time.
I would have to agree with that.
643 yards of offense tonight. Time for the folks around the PSAC to start taking some notice of the Golden Bears if they haven't been doing so already.
We thought in the second quarter the point totals dropped a little bit. Well, that's changed.
The best team in either division of the PSAC is Indiana University of Pennsylvania. They won huge today at Slippery Rock, 2 top 20 teams at the Division II level. They are not on Kutztown's schedule. However, there is a good chance that IUP will win the West Division, and Kutztown now
will be
looking very good to win the East. That matchup could be in the middle of November.
If Kutztown keeps playing like this, and both teams get to that championship game, that will be a heck of a game.
It'll be interesting. That's an IUP team that hung 70 on East Stroudsburg earlier this year.
Well, it took them a big drive of 2 plays last time to score.
Remember, Healy just 3 yards away from a program record. There it is. Most all-purpose yards in East Stroudsburg history for Robert Healy. He passes Evan Prawl, who was a receiver, and his quarterback was Jimmy Terwilliger, who is the son of the offensive coordinator and also currently an assistant on staff.
Defensive backs coach up in the booth with his dad,
And
who's the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, Terwilliger was a Harlan Hill Trophy winner. So Terwilliger and Prawl put together the combo that had the most all-purpose yards in program history. Robert Healy has just set a new standard with still almost half a season to go.
It's pretty impressive.
DiGiorgio into coverage. That one is incomplete. Let me give you the number. He's at about 5,700 all-purpose yards.
It's mind-boggling. And he's still got a half a season to go.
And if you look at him, that's not someone who will stand out. If you bump into him in the grocery store, you're not going to say you picked up 5,700 yards in your collegiate football career.
$1.90.
Slippery, elusive. First down to Tommy House.
Yeah, the thing about him, and you said it many times tonight, he just doesn't get popped. He just avoids tackles, gets that extra yard, spins, stutter steps. Just very, very tough to bring down and very effective.
That's Wilson. Spins his way close to the marker. That should be enough for the first down.
Remember, this young man that's throwing the ball right here is 7 for 13 for the year coming in today. He looks pretty effective when he can get a little rhythm going.
He's thrown for 130 yards and 2 scores. There's a direct snap to Healy.
He's done that a 3 times tonight.
Yep.
When they do that, either Campbell, who used to be in their quarterback, or DiGiorgio, they don't come out of the game. They just line up in a slot or like an H-back. Now he's back in the gun.
DiGiorgio wanted Healy. And it brings up third down. This game was a 5-point game at the half. East Stroudsburg scored 9 straight in the last 3 minutes of the half to get within 21-16. And then second drive for Kutztown in the third quarter. That offensive line asserted their will and hasn't stopped. Here comes fourth down.
No question. Got to go for it here, fourth down, and they're going to. Empty backs. They got 5 wide outs. They got 4 to one side.
Looking over the middle, and Healy can't bring it in. So Kutztown turns over the Warriors on downs with 5 minutes to play. I know this will come as a huge surprise.
Big shocker.
Our Make It Yours player of the game is Craig Reynolds, who sets a Kutztown record 261 rushing yards tonight on just 19 carries. And he scores 3 times in the process.
Would not be surprised if he gets a National Player of the Week award for that kind of performance. Along a 51 was nice. He had a one over 40 that didn't score, and over 250 on the ground for Craig Reynolds. Heck of a night.
Division II gives student athletes the unique opportunity to compete in the classroom, on the field, in their community for their causes, most importantly, on their terms. It's NCAA Division II football. Make it yours. Reynolds made it his. He made a school record his. It's not too easy right now for Kutztown to run out the clock because they're averaging 10 yards a carry. You can't exactly just take a knee.
Good point. Hassan Neblet now in the backfield, the newest member of the stable. Sees
a lot of time as a return man. Not a whole lot of carries, though, this year for Hassan Neblet. Terrence Scanlon is also in the game. Scanlon was the quarterback who began the year for Kutztown. Started 0-2 and got hurt. A Rutgers transfer and a Monmouth transfer.
Yep. Started at Monmouth and then to Rutgers.
Interestingly, he never played. 2 years on Monmouth's team, didn't play. Didn't play in 1 year at Rutgers.
Graduated now as a grad student.
Frustration evident on the East Stroudsburg sideline as they pick up their first turnover of the night.
That's wrong, where the running back thought the quarterback was going to keep it, and the quarterback thought he gave it to the running back, Neblet. Not on the same page, ball goes on the turf.
And Clements will come up with the recovery.
He thinks he's handing it off. Neblet thinks he's going to keep it. That's a turnover.
Linder, 46, not 40, with the recovery. Direct snap here once again to Healy as he skips to the outside. There's no quitting Mr. Healy. Switches that ball to the outside arm, and goodbye, 36 yards.
Little icing on the record cake right there. It's almost like I'm watching a video game, the way he changes direction so quickly.
124 yards on the ground now for Healy with a couple of touchdowns.
Watch this change of direction. There's one. Now he does the fundamental perfect thing, switches the ball to the outside hand, takes it into the corner.
Giants versus. Folks around here will tell you that Robert Healy's vision is as good as any back that's ever played here. The mark he has set tonight would seem to back up that stat and that thought.
Great call by the offensive coordinator, give him the direct snap. Completely changes direction, sets up that last block with the vision you just talked about. Then it's a race to the pylon, and he's not going to lose many of them. Enough points for you tonight?
79. Exactly what I was just looking at, marveling at that line. What's still more impressive tonight is what Kutztown has done on the ground. This is what Healy has done throughout the year. That is all-purpose yards right there, 203.
Rushing TDs is #1 in the nation, as you can see, and so is yards from scrimmage. And $150 a game ain't bad either.
Watching some impressive backs here tonight.
Another onsider, possibly.
You almost have to.
Yep. Different kind, I would think. Last time I tried to pooch it over the front line, didn't quite get it far enough.
Kutztown justs, and I believe called a timeout. They did.
Boy, and that ball bounced off the...
Kutztown, 30-second timeout.
Bounced off of Zach Delp and came right back to the kicking team, but the whistle had blown. And Zach Delp just heard about it from his coach.
Clearly.
Look at that look.
Well, clearly they didn't like the way East Stroudsburg had lined up because Kutztown was shifting its alignment. And as they were scrambling to get in place, Clements had enough of that. First time out he's called here in this second half.
Marcel Quarterman, the running backs and special teams coach, is kind of in charge of this situation for Kutztown. And East Stroudsburg probably will try a different type of onside kick here. You usually have 3 or 4 in the arsenal of ways to do it. Remember when I was in college once in Maryland, the onside kick, he just drilled it right into the guy right in front of him, bounced off his chest, came right back to the kicker.
That's one way to do it.
I mean, just drilled it. Because normally the guy right in front of you as a kicker is not going to get it. Boy, they're running around like crazy now.
And that's where the lesser of the hands were. That was the linebacker, Delp. Again, it was the first to touch it, and he was right around it. May have even been the one to fall on it.
It was wild. You normally don't see the receiving team running back and forth along the line of the 50-yard line, but It worked.
So last week was a huge win for Kutztown, beating Bloomsburg. Haven't beaten Bloomsburg many times over the last quarter century, and certainly not in the 3 years under Jim Clements. It was his first win over him. They've had more success against East Stroudsburg, and tonight isn't just about the success against the Warriors. It is more a continuation of the story of the Golden Bears. And the numbers that they have put up tonight are eye-popping.
And starting quarterback, one of the stable in the backfield.
And here you go again.
After the drop.
Program record for team rushing yards. Individual record for rushing yards. 653 yards. Just even Jim Clements would have to shake his head looking at that.
That's a man that's winning, folks. He's worried about that exchange from the last series. I guarantee you. That's what coaches do. He's found a gem in this young man at quarterback. There's no doubt about it.
Giving him a rest now. So he's got Scanlon and Daryl Scott. Daryl Scott needs a touchdown. Reynolds has 3. DeGalbo has 1. Wah has 2.
Gotta spread it out among the stable.
Long odds that he's actually going to get a shot to do that. DeGalbo now back on the field.
And now that play clock's going to get down to single digits before it is snapped every play. Down to 7 right now.
Second half was just complete domination from the group up front for Kutztown. A group loaded with returning starters, veterans, also including the best lineman in the league and an NFL prospect who's not in the game anymore, Jordan Morgan.
Justin Tyndall, 55, is taking his place, but the offensive line is still opening holes. They're still getting running backs in the second level. And now they're going to take their time.
Over 1,000 total yards in this game tonight between the two.
Stat man's nightmare.
It's a defensive coordinator's nightmare.
True.
This is not going to be easily stomached from Chad Brain. Watching Craig Reynolds gallop for 261 on just 19 carries. And that's an aspect the Warriors will need to clean up. They came into tonight giving up 220 yards a game on the ground. Hard to imagine that number going up as high as it will, but...
Well, they ran into one hot football team and one hotter running back in Craig Reynolds.
Healy was the story coming in. Reynolds and the Golden Bears will be the story going out. Even with Healy's program record. Very impressive performance for Kutztown here on the road. They'll win their 4th consecutive game. Get one step closer to that East Division championship in the PSAC. With a couple of weeks remaining before the PSAC championship. And already a few big hurdles cleared. This team is the 2nd hottest team in the league behind IUP and did it after an 0-3 start.
Yeah, that's the remarkable part about it. Now, yes, they changed quarterbacks, but they didn't change running backs. They didn't change offensive linemen. Those guys all lost the first 3 games.
Got a couple of defensive linemen back. Nieves missed a little bit of time, one of the safeties. That helps them on that side of the ball.
And they lost 45-21 in game 1. Very close game, Mercyhurst 23-19, and 44-22 to Seton Hill. And then that man turned it around with his football team.
A couple of big things there. Cleaned up the special teams. They allowed 4 block punts early on in the year. None since. New quarterback. Limited the big plays against them, and suddenly...
New attitude.
That's right. New look. And a new attitude for the Golden Bears, who have taken a large step towards that Eastern Division Championship of the PSAC with a very convincing, dominating physical performance on the ground. 459 yards on the ground, 668 total yards.
Third year at the job, that man learned some valuable lessons in his first 3 games. He must have, because he has turned this thing around, and he hopes to keep it going.
Right off the mat from an 0-3 start, 4 straight wins all in the East Division, and controlling their own destiny to that PSAC championship game the last week of the regular season. What a performance for our Make It Yours player of the game tonight, Craig Reynolds. 261 and 3 touchdowns. 3 runs of more than 40 yards, one of them more than 50. Stole the show from Robert Healy, who in his own right set a mark that he will continue to build upon throughout the rest of the year.
Yeah, let's give a little credit to Robert Healy.
Yep.
In a loss, breaks a career record, and still has a lot of games to go in his career here at East Stroudsburg. And pretty good performance under the circumstances where he was down by a bunch going into the middle of the third quarter.
Yeah, most all-purpose yards in program history. Another look at the offensive show for the Golden Bears. Not just tonight, but since DeGalbo was inserted as the starter, they have put up over 500 yards 3 of the 4. The other one, when they didn't, they beat Westchester, which is a huge win. And then built on that with Bloomsburg, and now 668 total yards. And they are catching the eyes of those around the PSAC, catching the eyes of those around the region. Those region rankings will start to come out, I believe, next week. Yes, after next week's game, week 8. And this is going to be a team that is going to push, if they can continue to win, for a playoff spot. Top 8 teams in the region will get that. Story was Craig Reynolds.
Absolutely.
After a 7-0 lead for the Warriors, couple of picks, and then the rushing game, and DeGalbo took over.
Well, DeGalbo had some really nice passes. There's the back shoulder throw for East Stroudsburg from DeGiorgio. But Reynolds just was everywhere. Exceptional speed, exceptional job up front to give him holes. And you look at the passing yardage wasn't big for Kutztown because this guy ran all over the football field. The special teams jacked up the defense. And there's DeGalbo. He ran pretty well when he didn't hand it off to number 13. And then the rest of the stable got their job done. James Ward, a couple huge runs. There's the freshman with a touchdown, and then the running back, the running back, Robert Healy, did his thing for his football team, but it was a little too late to a Kutztown team led by that man right there, Craig Reynolds. An improbable, but a very impressive running game for him and his football team.
Improbable works. School record, 261 yards. That's improbable would fit the bill right there. 459 on the ground for the team. And suddenly Kutztown is the team everyone in the East Division will continue to look up at. They have taken a big step forward here. Now 2 games clear of East Stroudsburg, with other hurdles already cleared, Bloomsburg and Westchester. Here's the story. Outgain them by almost 300 yards, average 8 yards a play. And those penalties just simply weren't a factor when you're chewing up yards on the ground like that.
Question is now, Kutztown 4 in a row. Targets now on their back. How will they react the rest of the way?
So your final score tonight, Kutztown knocks off East Stroudsburg, mostly on the ground, 49-30. For Nate Ross and our entire crew, great job tonight. I'm Darren Goldwater. For the latest on news and special features on your teams, check out AmericanSportsNet.com. This has been a presentation of ASN, your teams, your passion, your network.